fragile balance. Legends of the Great Step tell of the sun-headed man who helped maintaining the connection between the worlds for centuries. But sometimes, the very nature of existence disrupts the natural order of things. When the ancient power left the sun-headed man, the balance shifted.
Attention. Massive energy surge detected.
The energy within the sun-headed man's artifact has awakened.
So, the chosen ones are already there?
Newbies without a guide. Then it's time to meet them. Someone's got to get them up to speed.
Look what my robot can do.
Not now. I'm playing.
In search of those destined to restore the lost harmony, the energy split into 3 parts.
Hey, I'm one of the guardians of balance between the worlds. When the ancient power awakened in Kazakhstan, it chose you. You're the ones who can restore the sun-headed man's power and bring the worlds back into harmony. Guess even ancient powers can surprise you. Looks like the squad's finally complete. But until the sun-headed man is fully charged, the 2 worlds will keep drifting apart. So, no pressure, but we're counting on you.
Began the story of the new heroes. Ahead of them lay the great challenge of all, the games of the future in Astana.
Team Spirit! Here we are, round of 16, the first match
here at technically the playoffs of the Games of the Future MLBB. Your casters Wolf and Naisu bringing you the action for Foot Esports going up against Team Spirit. Naisu, you've witnessed one of the two teams get a recent championship.
Yep.
Just in a land not too far from here. What have we got in store for us for our first series of the day?
Oh man, this is gonna open up the playoffs with, I feel like, hopefully a 3-game series, right? Because again, these are best of 3s. You know, you hope you get to see the most, I would say, from all the teams competing, obviously. But yes, Team Spirit, the recent MSC champions that just finished over, and, you know, getting a championship that they've worked hard for how many years? Wolf, again, you know, Sao and Sunset Lover, I think it took them, what, 6 or 7 years to achieve that goal. And then, of course, you have two of the youngest players here, as you see Zaro Igor on camera right now, alongside Hiko, two of the youngest players to compete in competitive MLBB. I mean, and then you got Kid Bomba, right? He was talking about how he was going to be the one, alongside his team, to bring EECA on the map for MLBB, and they just accomplished that just, what, last week, a few days ago even. And now they're here, competing in the digital Games of the Future. Imagine if they go back-to-back championships, man. They just won $1 million, and now they're playing for another.
You're right. That's back-to-back $1 million. But then again, I have been consuming a lot of Kid Bomba content just recently. And for those who don't know or aren't familiar, we were talking about the EXP laner of Team Spirit, Kid Bomba, from Germany. I have watched a lot of content of him like molding earlier in his career, and also because it's, you know, he's fighting for more slots from Europe and ECA in the international stage. He wants to compete consistently internationally, and ever since his breakout performance in the Philippines back in M5, that was almost 3 years ago, he was always part of the international scene, finishing top 4 usually. Sometimes they don't get into the playoffs, sometimes they finish 3rd, but they never got into the grand finals, not until recently. And it was the sweetest victory for it was, and essentially they were ushering a new era of MLBB. Them with Young Gun Galacticos, the way that they were able to understand the metagame and perform so well in the grand finals. It was a 7-game series of snowball fights, is what I would call it. And then if you look back at Team Spirit, although they weren't able to get into their first match, which meant that they would be in the round of 16 no matter what, they won against it was Entity 7, and they're back in their winning ways, in their snowballing ways. Do you think the Team Spirit will be playing confidently today with that kind of playstyle?
You know, I think so, Wolf. I think they kind of have to, right? I know there wasn't a lot of time between their recent championship, but then, you know, being able to kind of, hopefully they got a couple days, I would say. Hopefully they got some days of rest, but you got to put that in context, right? They run through the gauntlet there in a recent tournament of 10 days for MSC. I think it was 10 days. And then, you know, I'm sure they had to do some stuff after that. Then they go and hop on a flight over here to the beautiful Astana in Kazakhstan. And now they're competing here. Somewhere along the way, hopefully they got the rest and hydration that they needed, as you know, you see Hiko here, and hopefully they were able to go ahead and reset, because that's always something that we have to look forward to for the teams, you know, when they're going from tournament to tournament and they're getting themselves situated. But yeah, I think if the question is how are they going to perform, you know, in terms of into the game itself, they were so darn strong throughout MSC. I mean, a lot of teams had difficulty trying to figure out how to play against them. And as you mentioned, Kid Bomba was one of them. You know, it was just how impactful he was in the XP lane. You have to also take in consideration with the current meta, of course, and how that's developed over the course of the last month or so. Zaro Egoist being one of the best jungler performers, you know, recently in that MSC. And we'll see if he's able to go ahead and replicate that here. And of course, the dynamic change in the gold lane for Hiko, right? There's been, I think, one of the biggest benefits of just where gold lane is right now is Are they going to be going with traditional marksmen? Are they going to go into fighter heroes, you know? And we had a lot of interviews and information on, you know, just how some of the gold laners felt about that. And, you know, it's one of those decision factors and why the coaches obviously behind them are so important. And, you know, there's a reason why we're talking so much about team spirit here, just because of what they've proven in terms of getting that win. It's a historic win. And you're carrying that historic win now into this Games of the Future 2026. Can they create more history, you know, winning here off the bat into this? Because, yeah, it's kind of an intense situation to be in, you know, already in the playoffs, that top 16 or the round of 16 that you've got to go through here. And I would say for Foot Esports, you know, this is a team that has a lot of experience. You know, these are players that have played on different teams throughout the previous M Championships, M World Championships. You know, they've had their own kind of performances on separate teams, then they come together and make this team for Foot Esports. And I would say a lot of people would say this is obviously one of the most competitive teams outside of Aurora Gaming from Turkey, you know? And I think you know exactly how that all works out too with Foot Esports.
We saw Foot Esports perform in the group stages of the Games of the Future, but we can also dial back, you know, doing the wild card, I feel like, of MSC. So it's been a month of almost non-stop MLBB for Foot Esports, especially after they run their local regional league, which also means that they do have a lot of experience to utilize up against Team Spirit. You're right in that regard. And the reason I say that is because when they played Bushido Wildcats, they looked very convincing. They were drafting okay. And then when they went up against BTR by Vitality, obviously it was a 2-0 in favor of BTR. But if you look at the game itself, there was a certain specific points in the game where you'd see that Foot Esports can actually win against a top team like BTR. However, this time it's going to be an even bigger challenge for Foot Esports. And I'm saying that because when you look at Team Spirit, they play so fast. And Foot Esports might not be used to this kind of playstyle. They might be surprised. Of course, everything starts with the draft, Naisu, and Team Spirit apparently are going to be on the blue side, the Foot Esports on the red side. Team Spirit likes to prioritize the Eco Hero. Obviously if the Marcel as well as the HIFROST is banned here. So it's going to be the Marcel. Do you think that this is a HIFROST for Team Spirit?
Yeah, I think you could just go with this. Go ahead and put that in the hands of Zara Egoist. Again, in the form of a best of 3, you might as well go ahead and play with what works for you in you know, your recent run through MSC. If it's not the HIFROST, then I mean, what else would you go ahead and prioritize here for first pick blue side?
I can't think of anything else. Perhaps maybe the weirdest.
I mean, Atlas. They banned the Atlas. I was gonna say, yeah, they banned the Atlas.
Yeah. Yeah, just the HIFROST. I feel like maybe a Paquito eventually, or a Paquito or a Melissa. Oh, there you go.
Good call.
Yeah. So it seems like they are prepared for the HIFROST. And the thing is, Team Spirit actually likes to draft the Paquito very early because they can flex it. Every time that there is no Barretts on the opposite side, they put this Paquito on top of the list of their priorities because they can put it in the gold, they could put it in the jungle, they can even put it in the EXP if they wanted to. But that means that there's a lot of flexibility to go with it. Now, Foot Esports, they might be required to pick up both the Eudora as well as the HIFROST. But it's it's HIFROST and the Baloo.
Wolf, if this isn't a Eudora that's just picked over for Sunset Lover, I don't know what's gonna happen. Just because, yeah, I was expecting Belric Eudora as well to be the trade at least over on for Foot Esports, just because, you know, I can't remember exactly the win rate that Sunset Lover had on the Eudora, but I know he played it probably like 6 out of the 8 games, you know, towards their last couple matches that they had there for MSC, and there was just, it worked so well for them. Here we go. The Fanny's actually going to come through. So Zaro Egoist, another one of those just mechanically gifted junglers. And he's young. You know, we wanted to see him play in the international back. I think it was M7, where, you know, he was 15. Well, now he's 16. And he's a star jungler, you know, and he's going to go ahead and showcase the Fanny, one of the most technical heroes that you can pick up already. Paired it up with an Esmeralda to help with that front line. That's going to go in the hands of Kid Bomba.
Yeah. Very honest for here, coming off from Team Spirit, revealing their three lanes, 2 side lanes, and their jungler already. You are full esports. They now have a shot at taking the Eudora for themselves. Of course, the Eudora with the Hirara is just a good combo. Instead, they will pick up the Melissa. And this is a natural hero in the gold lane right now in combination with the Hirara. I feel like this is a good jungle plus gold lane combo because you complement each other so well. Hirara buys a lot of time in the early stages. They both pop off in the third turtle, and when it comes to late game, there is a lot of strength that you can get from the Melissa, especially in late game Lord fights. Because of the models, you actually deal so much damage into the front lines that you can transfer into the backliners as well.
Yeah, I like the surgence of Melissa, man. It was kind of one of those marksman picks that just came out of left field. It felt like this was not what I thought where the meta was gonna go. Where now Melissa is like one of these hot picks for gold lane. But it makes so much sense just because of where we are in terms of jungle meta. You know, there's so many assassins now kind of causing havoc, and if you're not picking a fighter to put in that gold lane, then Melissa and maybe the Claude and Brody are probably some of the better choices that you can go for. You know, because you're a little more self-sustaining, you're a little more you have more capabilities of taking care of yourself in that lane. Her ultimate does just that, like you mentioned, and you know, that's kind of good enough. This is interesting too that the Dairoth is going to be banned out here. If we recall in some of those last matches of MSC, the Dairoth came through, you know, and even in the hands of Yangon Galacticos, and it was like, oh, that's kind of scary, you know, to see just how much burst and early advantage a Dairoth can get, and that's why it's going to be banned out, because Team Spirit, they remember how it was.
Yeah, a direct answer to their Esmeralda as well makes total sense to be banned here. There is also a lot of synergy between an assassin hero and the Dairoth, because you have that minus armor actually you can apply to your opponents, which generally means that there's that are tilted towards the physical side are incentivized to pick that up. However, for Team Spirit, I think they're going to be looking for another tanky hero to take away from esports from the EXP today. Maybe an Alice, because what you generally do if you deploy the Melissa, you're going to be looking for 2 tanky dudes to protect this Melissa.
2 tanky dudes.
Yep. Well, Alice is not a dude, but it's very tanky.
You get what we're saying.
But I think you get what we're saying. And Ruby, apparently, interesting, because you wouldn't think about the Ruby as a very tanky hero. It has not as much HP, but it is very tanky because of the resistances and the sustain. So if they just find it out, the Eudora natural pickup. Team Spirit immediately picks up the Farsa, which is an answer to the Melissa. They're looking for their Roma now, which probably is Abadan, perhaps.
Yeah.
And there was the Tigreal that we saw yesterday, which can also be good in this composition for Team Spirit, because you just have so much stuns. But we'll see. I want to really congratulate Sawo for eventually getting into the finish line, eventually winning his championship, playing since M1. Goodness. Now he's playing the show.
Gonna be playing the show, man. This is gonna be a showcase, I feel like, for Team Spirit to see. You know, this isn't too different than what they showed us just last week to get the championship. Obviously, Coach Coldstar feeling pretty happy about it too. They're hyped up. They're ready for this, and we'll see. Pickoff potential is huge with the composition that Team Spirit has, and this is interesting. The Kufra comes out, so I mean, hey, it's foot esports with the tanky dudes. They got Belric and Kufra.
That's right. Melissa plus 2 tanky dudes. Let's call it. Let's make that a thing. You know, because that's exactly
Melissa
what
and
we are
tanky
saying.
dudes.
Yeah, because you're gonna be looking for 2 tanky dudes to protect you, and then all of a sudden in the mid game, even when you're behind by 2,000 gold or 3,000 gold, you'll be surprised how much mileage you can get out of that trio. You can punish any kind of dive. You can slowly win the team fights by your box formation, and as long as you're just helping each other out, almost within the vicinity of each other to be able to help each other out, it's actually very easy to win late game team fights. So I'm gonna be excited about this Melissa bit if esports can do it. However, let's talk about team spirits real quick. With the Cho and the Farsa, a classic combo that means that you have a lot of ways to eliminate your opponents. You have the Fanny that can supplement the damage, and of course a very active Paquito coming out from Hiko, which we know has been so masterful with the gold lane Paquito. So that's exciting. The only problem that they have to face is the Kufra. As long as they don't fall into the Kufra trap, I think this solid composition from Team Spirit is going to be great in the early game.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to take a little breather while they get things situated here. It looks like it might be on Team Spirit side, but yeah, that's some of the main points there is just, you know, playing around that. I think, you know, even down to counter-wise, like Kufra, obviously, I would say most people would pick him up, you know, against the Fanny. You're kind of, but I guess what I'm wondering is Foot Esports willing to go ahead and put enough pressure on Zara Egoist? I think you kind of have to. Like, if you're going to go ahead and take anything that we learned from their games over in MSC, you want to be that team to go ahead and make it so it's a really difficult time for Zara Egoist in the jungle. That actually happened to be the case for a lot of the teams. You know, how much pressure can you put on the jungle start for leading into, you know, Lith Wanderer, and then that first hurdle, right? That first objective. Can you delay them to solidify your early game a little bit better? We saw this in a lot of different ways where teams would either, man, most of the time though, it'd come down to like the middle lane, right? The mid lane, like there'd be so much bursting going on that at least, the very least, a battle spell is expected, you know? And sometimes that would result into eventual first blood going to one of the junglers, right? Once they follow through of, let's say a Flicker was burnt or Purify was burnt. And so that's something that can be said here. Like, are they going to put enough pressure on Team Spirit, or will we see that from Team Spirit against Foot Esports? Because I think, you know, it's a little more difficult to do. And then, of course, you want to go ahead and play into that gold lane advantage if you can get one.
Yeah, I guess when you look at this gold lane meta game that we have, specifically on when we were just focusing on the meta game for the gold lane hero selection. Or like, how do you complement your jungler? Because there are so many different approaches to it. For example, the Paquito, one of the best heroes to flex right now. As long as there's no Barretts on the opposite end of the draft, you're gonna be okay. If the Barretts is with you, then all the better, right? Because XP, Barretts, and Golden Paquito, that's a very strong side lane duo. All you need is an assassin to pick it up. And the reason why the Paquito is really good in the gold lane is that it wins most of the marksman matchups. So if it's facing up against most traditional marksmen, like a Claude, for example, or even a carry, it's like the Paquito will always have ways to win that lane. And Melissa is a more difficult matchup, I feel like, but at the same time, you still can just fast clear the wave, cut it actually if you need to, and still be stable in that lane. Then you can participate in the first turtle or the second turtle, right? There's so many things that you can do, and that will allow you to amplify even the farming of your jungler, because the jungler now can freely run around the map. The jungle camps can go to the lane and whatnot, right? Then you have another option, which is now between Melissa and the Brody. These two marksman heroes are played almost like fighters, because they also will not lose their lanes. That's the thing. And they can participate in team fights much faster than a Claude or a Moskov. And speaking of the Claude and the Moskov, they're like the outliers. They're the traditional marksmen that you probably will have to pair with utility junglers like Guinevere. So I think that's generally how the teams are looking at the gold lane meta game right now. So I wouldn't be expecting a lot of Claude and Moskov because Melissa and the Brody is just too strong, and that's what's the Paquito, too strong of an option to pass up on.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, again, that's why the Paquito has popped up quite a bit, you know, just as one of those kind of like mainstays into the gold lane now. we should be jumping back into the game in a bit here. I did see that they probably had to go ahead and maybe remake or make something happen there. As you can see, the players kind of getting situated. It should all be the same draft, though. I'm pretty sure it's all the same draft and everything. And that's why, you know, we're kind of dipping into a little bit more of what could potentially happen here. Again, so much can change off the first couple of minutes, you know, honestly, when you get to this game. And eventually, again, we've seen it before where the gold lane might not even matter too much if somehow Zaryaegis just pops off, man. If he just pops off the Fanny and is unleashed, we've seen it before, like 10-minute games. I think the fastest, what was the fastest game time we had in MSC? I think it was like, I want to say under 9 minutes. I could be,
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 8:50 something
Yeah.
off the top of my head, but
I think it eventually became at exactly 9, but yeah, I think it's around 8:50, and it probably came from Aurora Gaming, right?
yeah, I think it was. Was that the Liquid
Yeah.
game? Okay.
I think that was the Liquid game, actually.
I feel like everybody's just kind of, you know, like that was like people woke up the next day being like, did that actually happen? It was like a dream almost, you know? And it's one of those
Yeah.
cases where that's just where we are in the meta right now. It's kind of a weird place where it's this, games can happen really, really fast, you know, and before you know it, looks like they're back in the redraft here, so they're probably just going for the same picks, I would assume. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have the same picks here, and so everything that we kind of theory crafted for our first matchup is pretty much still there. It's just, again, the execution factor, and I think if anything, you know, Foot Esports is the ones that have to kind of rise to the occasion here, Wolf. Just because of what we've seen from Team Spirit and how good they look as a team.
Yeah, they have to brace themselves for specific stages of the game. First, when the first 2 minutes, because of the idea of the Fanny, of having the Fanny, I think for Foot Esports, they're going to be more incentivized into keeping this Kufra, I guess, topped up all the time, right? Sometimes when you're a roamer, you're tempted to kind of sacrifice yourself, sacrifice some of your farm, because you're a roamer anyways. It feels like, okay, if there's someone who can be eliminated from our team or die from our team, it's gonna be better if it's going to be the Kufra or the roamer. However, I think in this scenario, because of how much the Kufra can do against the Fanny, against the Paquito, and then of course the Cho, it kind of means that you kind of have to preserve your farming as well, your health, generally speaking, as the Kufra. Maybe the more sacrificial role here is the Belleric from the EXP that they chose to go for. The Kufra needs to always be a threat up against Team Spirit. That's what I feel like. So I think that's how they should brace themselves in the early game. Eventually, this Eudora will be their solution to the Fanny. Although the Fanny is a hero that can also take out the Eudora easily. When you time it perfectly with the flicker, with the stun coming out from the Eudora, maybe you have a chance. So these are the heroes that I feel like should be the point of focus for Foot Esports.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, I feel like, you know, focus-wise, and that's why we're always talking about early game. That's really where things are established. It's just this weird case now where even if you have the early game on lockdown, we've seen it too, where like 6,000, 7,000 gold leads can be, you know, turned over. That potentially can happen too. So, again, as we wait to jump into this game one, we'll find out exactly where that's going to go. I think the other thing to ask is just why is, other than the fact that Melissa's pushing away these assassins, Wolf, why is Melissa like so, why is she so good? You know, why is she, is her late game potential, late game scaling that good that she's just kind of this fallback now?
Okay, yeah. So a quick answer to that is yes, and the reason why that is because there's an option to attack multiple targets. It's unlike the carry, where you have a single target hero. Of course, heroes like the Claude also can do AoE damage, but also that only happens during an ultimate. But for Melissa, you have at least 2 or 3 targets that you always can hit because of your models. And that models is actually also the reason why Melissa is always the priority, because of that skill, you actually turn into an early game hero. Not all marksmen are really good in the laning stage and the first, second, and third turtle, but because of the models, again, you can contribute to the fights. You can be a threat. You have good laning coverage because you can just pop your models, fast clear the lane, and hit the opposing gold laner in the process. When unchecked, Melissa is really strong in the early game. And that's the reason why teams are starting to pick up on this hero.
Yeah, I feel like the muddles is enough to like zone out, you know, like even on a turret, like sometimes you see that already happen. What does she need? 2 items to really hit that power spike, or is she more like, because you know, like the Claude is probably the most common marksman that picks up is, you know, that Trinity.
Yeah, also a Trinity, but second item when positioned properly, that kind of falls around the first, before the first Lord fight. You have 2 items and maybe half a third item, and if you are protected well with, again, 2 tanky dudes in front of you, you can actually output a lot of damage even with just 2 items. But yeah, generally you want to get your Trinity as the Melissa, and that is almost the same time as any traditional marksman.
Well, we'll wait a little bit longer to jump in.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I think I don't know, man. Team Spirit's run through MSC has been insane. Again, they were able to go ahead and make history. You know, if you guys missed that, you go back and watch it. Maybe they replicate another historic run here through Games of the Future. And this is kind of what Wolf mentioned. You know, this is kind of like this new era of MLBB where you have these other regions rising up. And who's to say that? Maybe, I don't know, maybe for the Digital Games of the Future for 2026, we have even a different region come through. I mean, I see their hands moving, so we might be jumping the game here shortly.
Hopefully. They're also shot calling now. Okay. So we're seeing their actions right now, which kind of tells us that, yeah, probably they're going to be into the game, but it could also be a test game because, you know, we want to make sure that everything is tested correct. Okay, we are in the game.
We're in the game.
So that's 30 seconds in. Now we're looking at this Paquito going up against the Melissa up top, and I think the idea for both of these gold gainers is to just faster their waves. Paquito is going to be more incentivized to get level 2, and once he gets level 2, now that lane is actually easier for Hiko.
Yeah, obviously these first rotations looking a little bit different just because of, you know, the nature of, you know, having a Kufra. Obviously you can't get too far forward up front against the Eudora just because you don't want to go ahead and get poked down already. But looks like both junglers go ahead and start to grab their buffs. You have Kazue go ahead and rotating to that orange. So this is one of those cases where now you're not going to have these first bloods off the bat. It might be one of those things where it's just, you know, fighting into that first turtle in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. And that being said, I'm curious about this Belleric and how they are going to be able to use it, because the idea for the Belleric is to be that tank. But usually from the EXP, you can also consider outputting some damage, which means that you can farm faster, maybe get the blade armor quicker than your team, assign the radiant armor to your Kufra. It seems like it's going to be the battle for the turtle now.
Good use of the iframes, but they get the lockdown already. Zaro jumping in. He's going to be stopped in his tracks, though. He's got to get out. Good defense there from Foot Esports. Kazue barely surviving, utilizing 2 of those iframe interactions as well. But this opens up the turtle now for Team Spirit.
Part of the reason why I really like watching Team Spirit during their MSC run was because of how coordinated they were, and you saw how the stun layering coming up from Team Esports were pristine. Again, when you jump with the stomp from Sawo, you immediately have the falling star moon, and then the Curse of the Crow is already ready, as now the turtle fight is going to commence. Actually, Kazue gets the turtle away from Team Spirit.
Bomba, though, getting the first blood, so they go for a trade. A little bit of extra gold over here to Zara Egoist. Does some damage to Blotsfet, but not enough yet to go ahead and shred through that tankiness. There's a kick, though. Big way the dragon on Kazue. Pressure on the purple. They want to go ahead and take this away here after they traded out the objective. They're going to go for it. It's a bloodbath anyway in the jungle. Blotsfet down south. Oh, trying to get away, and he does with the Jeet Kune Do, but Kid Bomba will be the trade.
A 1-for-1 trade-off. And that generally means that Zara Egoist will just take care of his own jungle. They are just stopping Foot Esports' momentum. Right now, they're going to be focusing on taking out some jungle camps away from Foot Esports. Right now, there is going to be some pokes in the middle once again. That's Bloodsfed. I think they just want to force the bouncing ball so that they will have allowed Sour Egoist to just dive into the back lanes.
Well, Sawa's going to have a little bit of a difficult time trying to get away from this. Kazuya using the retribution to slow him down a little bit, and we'll be able to pick up the kill. Kazuya making it happen, and now pressure on Hiko. Hiko's going to go ahead and heal back up. He's got the regen. He'll back off a little bit, but he'll stay there near the turret. Kazuya will just go for these camps, taking some of the green camps away from Team Spirit, but hold on. I think he got there in time. Not sure if Zarugos actually got there in time to get his camp. He is level 7, so he's slightly ahead, but whoa, they're going to make a play anyway on Hiko. Hiko! Gone very quickly again. That stun that comes through with Eudora is just so strong.
Yeah, and they even denied the card from Hiko. Sunset Lover taken out. Foot Esports, foot on the gas actually. Right now, as they are outspeeding Team Spirit's rotation, they have collected 2 kills up top, a double kill for their jungler, now at 4-0, and they will be poised to take this second turtle of the game. Now they do jump in. They threaten for more kills. Sao just barely escapes that. And the response from Sour Egoist is just to go for that jungle camp at top as they take out Sawa, who already escaped death, but he bestows back into the turtle. Kazuya collects his 5th kill of the game.
Well, if someone would say their foot's on the gas,
Yes,
because Foot Esports right now, I mean, what was Sawa trying to do? I think he was just trying to give some information, but not expecting just how quickly he could probably get bursted down there. Again, you gotta respect this Eudora. It's kind of busted, man.
Yeah.
You know, we saw. I mean, Sunset Lover used it for how many games? They should know that once you get that lightning ball on you, once you get stunned, you get comboed, you got the conductor on you, you're in a bad position, especially if you're by yourself there. So until he gets the magic, it's going to be one of the big cases here for Sawo on this Cho, because just he gets a dominance ice, but you know that helped a little bit, obviously with the healing that comes through with the 2 tanky dudes, and I think they actually don't have a revitalize on the Belric just because it's in the XP lane for XE.
Yeah. And I think what Zao was trying to achieve during the turtle fight was for information, because I see Zaur Ego is just focusing on taking away the jungle camps from Foot Esports. It's more like a farming tool for their jungler.
Oh, what a call.
Go for a reach. Oh, what a call. Zaur Ego was so far away, but in comes the Wrath of the Dryad. Nice.
Yep, there it is. They're going to fight in the jungle anyway. Sao looking for the kick if he could find one. Not the best target, though, as XE drives him off and chases Hiko. Bit of a trade. Now in the mid lane, Zara's able to get away. That's one of the main things, though. He picks up a blade. Now the Malefic Roar. He's got 2 powerful items now in the hands of this Fanny for Zara Egoist. So if they are able to go ahead and do something like that again, find someone to pick off, there's going to be a big burst of damage here. Kid Bomba doing his thing, keeping RX and the rest of the team on the disengage. They want to start opening up the map here.
Kid Bomba. Now, there's going to be a swap between the gold laner as well as the EXP laner. And that means that the turtle will now be taken by Team Spirit easily. Taking it up top. This is a much better lane configuration for Team Spirit because Kid Bomba can easily get out of sticky situations because of the Purify. Also tankier than the Paquito at this point. So it's just natural for them to utilize this Esmeralda in front of the Melissa for now. Good Bomba actually. Collecting some farm in the initial Sunset Lover. There's a quick initiation there and a quick elimination as well. Foot Esports, their pickups are so good.
This is so coordinated from Foot Esports, man. I mean, when they can find a potential pick, they go for it. They make it happen. They know how to utilize the kits that they have in these heroes. So, is he going to go for Psyche here? He wants to go for the kick. There it is. Way the Dragon right in the hands of Kid Bomba. Do they have enough damage, though, to capitalize on this? Sun already came through. Should be able to take out Psyche at least, and they'll do just that. A good setup, a good pickup for Team Spirit there.
They feed it to Kid Bomba, who now has got his Oracle, so it's going to be a good tempo for Team Spirit as they jump forward to go away from RX.
Oh, that just feels so bad, but here comes Kid Bomba charging up. Go Away's already gone. You can't push him back any further, and Hiko comes in with a 1-2 punch, able to take out the turret, looking for the follow-up on Blot's Vet here. They pick up 2, Team Spirit, objective and kill secure.
Now, they even utilize the Feather there, strike for more damage and more vision, and they have taken out the turret. They will collect the Orange Buff now. They have to run away now because the HIFROST is here.
Yep, Ferrara's there. Actually, you're punching a tree, man. He's going to be able to get away, but Hiko doesn't have the champ stance, the stacks that he was looking for, but he does enough damage to. You can already see these itemizations really playing its part now for Team Spirit. For esports, they've done a lot of good coordinated attacks, but they just need to go ahead and readjust. Wow. Being brought real low psyche here just off of a couple feathered airstrikes.
That's the poke now. It's a lot of, I guess, Foot Esports really their foot off the gas because now Kazuya, okay, want to go for a kill on Sawo. I think they will get it. That's 7 kills now, and they want more. Look at the jump. Purify far too late. A double again for Kazuya, and he gets the purple buff too. All of a sudden, Foot Esports, it's not just the gas pedal, it's the nitro pedal. I don't know if there is a pedal for nitro, but the games I've played before had one.
Hey, there's a button for it right now. Looking to take this Lord, looking to take the life of Kid Bomba. They do just that. Right now, they are stacked up. Kazuya especially, 8-0-1. Lord secured now. This has been the plan the whole time. They'll play the map, team on a base turret. They're going to try to get away. Hiko gets Retribution. I don't think you're going to be able to escape Kazuya. The rest of the team will be there to clean him up. He gets the shields that he can, but he's gone so quickly. The sky is online here for Kazuya at 9-0.
However, they do get the push onto the bottom lane. Foot Esports losing their inhibitor very early into this game. Now, they will have the Lord on their side, going to be pushing in the mid. Oh, Sawo in a tight corner right now might be forced to use the flicker, but the jump coming up from the Kufra. They take another one. That's 10 kills Kazuya on this HIFROST.
Man, this is the problem that we saw throughout MSC, throughout this meta, is this HIFROST with multiple full stacks. You know, games when you get this full stack Sky Piercer, you're just a menace. Kid Bomba's gonna jump in, Feathered Airstrike drop down. You got a push going up top. They got to deal with this Lord as Kid Bomba is gone. Hiko trying to buy some time, dodging into this fight, but this turret is going down. They still have a Lord here. Does Foot Esports want to end the game? They're going to try to make it happen. They go in. Sorry, Ego is able to clear out that Lord. They got to clear out these minion waves too. They want to stay in this game one. It's only 11 minutes in, but you got Kazuya just unrelentless on this fully stacked HIFROST. And I think these tanky dudes aren't just protecting the Melissa, man. They're protecting the HIFROST.
Yeah, it seems like they have double duties this time. And that's the thing where when you are drafting the HIFROST as well as the Melissa, when we talk about how the strength of these heroes in combination with each other as they jump Kazuya, no tanky user, but there's a big shutdown. They get so much gold out of the bounty.
Oh.
And Team Spirit has equalized right now when it comes to the gold.
Oh, not just that, but you get stacks. You get some stacks out of the way in the hands of Kazuya. So that's big shutdown gold, reducing some of the stacks that he had on the fully stacked Sky Piercer. Now they're looking to take this tier 1 turret. Purple buff was stolen as well, so now trying to make a move. Sawo in trouble. Kid Bomba jumping to help out. Feathered Airstrikes a little bit too far here for reach. Still, they don't have a minion wave to push in. It's been cleared out. Kid Bomba now trying to disengage after Sawo was brought down. This has been a very difficult game for Sawo to get those kicks that he's looking for. He's had a couple, but you see how hard it is to actually find your targets, especially when there's a big bouncy ball right in front of you.
Yeah. GOFERCE is a problem for the show. And if you add in the Belleric, which has almost a reset button with the taunt, it kind of means that it's really difficult to find your angles. And it's not like the Melissa is an easy target for a Cho because of the go away, because of the natural kit of that hero is the Melissa. It's really hard to catch if you're the Cho. So overall, this is not an easy game for Cho, I would say, for Sabo. But we'll see. Lord Dan's gonna commence now. Nice.
Oh, Lord Esports starting it up. Sabo's got an immortality this time. He's gonna pop the conceal. He's gonna look for the right target. Gets the iframes out of Kazuya. He's trying to kick him if he can. They're trying to look for an opening. Kazuya still able to get the Lord. They're gonna call it off, try to disengage, but this could be bad for Team Spirit. Immortality already gonna be popped. Zara is able to find one though on Psyche. Still trying to get away as Sawo falls. Kazuya though next, but they can't follow through. So another Lord secured for Foot Esports. And right now, the 1-for-1 trade, 4 members strong into Foot Esports. They want to get into this base and take down the Crystal. They're gonna unleash a couple shots here on Kid Bomba. Hiko, fully stacked, looking for Kazuya, but the damage, the burst is just too much, and now Kazuya, he'll be going down, but the rest of the team wants to lock on the Crystal. They can just lock on the base and end it here, but Team Spirit is doing everything they can. They deal with the Lord. The go-away is going to be popped. Wind of Nature as well. Hiko falls, Zara's back. They're looking to take out RX, but they just can't get to him. And now Zara looking for blocks. Won't be able to take him out. There's the Raptor Dry coming in from XE. They want to win this team fight. Sawo falls. They might be able to lock on the Crystal now, but the cannon minion is stuck there. They bought enough time to clear it out. Now Zara needs to stay alive. They've used almost everything, but with Sunset Lever back, Team Spirit's able to defend it. They finally killed RX.
Wow, my goodness. I wonder what Zaur Egoist's APM was during that moment. There's no way to track it, but my oh my, did he click a lot of buttons during that moment, and he survived. He defended because of his heroics once again. The Team Spirit are alive. All it took was Sunset Lover to respawn, and now they have the threat for the Melissa. And to be fair, RX was playing so well. Everybody from both of these teams, Team Spirit, actually forced the teleport coming out from XC because of what Hiko was able to achieve in the bottom lane. Even though they didn't know that Hiko eventually recalled out of there, it kind of baited them in a spot where somebody has to go back to base. And that meant that Foot Esports did not have the mana advantage when they were pushing. They do have the Lord when they were pushing the mid lane, but they didn't have the man advantage. And Team Spirit kind of capitalized on that with a lot of outplays they did through Zaur Egoist, through Kid Bomba, hanging on. Now at 15 minutes, we are going to see the two teams just even it up. But fortunately for Foot Esports, they pushed the top lane too, which means that the opposite lane of the upcoming Lord is going to be in their side.
Oof, talk about one of the best defenses we've seen, at least in this current meta, man. I mean, the way they were able to go ahead and maintain that, given how much Foot Esports fought around that Lord, was quite impressive. Again, there's a reason why Team Spirit are the recent MSC champions, and they're looking to be the champion here for Games of the Future 2026. Oh, they're looking for a cutoff. They're looking for Psyche. They're going to get trapped in the jungle here. Rapid Drive already dropped down. Sunset Lover can't escape, though. Good pickup by Psyche. Now Psyche trying to survive. He's going to get bladed down. Saul not able to find the opening he was looking for. Hiko did get the kill. Kid Bomba, though. Immortality going to be popped. They're going to clean up this kill. They have nothing that they can do. Lord's going to be worked on, though, but that top wave is pushing into the base, taking down another base turret. Hiko trying to bob and weave through there. Couple punches, couple combos. Right. Lord, core to the health. Zaur Egoist, is he going to be able to try to steal this? I think he's zoned out so much, but he's still going to look for an opening. He goes the pressure.
Impactful, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's just
a huge kick on RX. What a team fight again from Team Spirit. And now it's just the two tanky dudes on the disengage. They're going to be chased down here in the jungle. Hiko with the double. Another big pickup. It's all terrible for Foot Esports. Finally, Psyche is up, though, but they're going to have to defend now.
Yeah, XC is alive with the immortality now low. Flicker forward to actually dodge Team Spirit. I don't know if that was intended, but it worked nonetheless. Gotta be careful if you're Psyche. Although 12 seconds now, RX will be alive. Team Spirit did not go for the Lord. XC does not have the ultimate right now. Does have the taunt though. Actually catches the minions. And now, but enough time for the wave clear of Foot Esports. Heroics. And very nice movement coming up from XC. Gathering the aggro. Now Sunset Lover in trouble. He's gonna survive for now. Lord being worked on by Team Spirit. It's still at 50% HP, which means that Foot Esports might actually take this Lord for themselves.
Oh, they're threading the needle here, Wolf, right now for this Lord, holding it at half health. They sent Sunset Lover back. He was so low, and now we might see the same thing happen again like we just saw for this previous Lord dance. It's going to reset. Sunset Lover is back. He's going to keep them at bay. It is going to evolve, though. So now to deal with, these shots are going to hurt even the tankier members, but whoa, Egoist! He gets shut down and trapped by the lightning ball. The Lord goes over to Foot Esports. Sawa with a desperate kick. Immortality popped. Not going to happen, though. Hiko on the hunt for Psyche. Psyche survives with the flicker, and Foot Esports should have just won them the game off that fight. Man, oh man, it looked like Team Spirit wasn't sure if they wanted to end the game in that base, and they decided to go ahead and pull to the Lord, but that would have cost them as they go. Foot Esports jumps in. They want to take the kills, but they'll take game one in this best of three.
What an unbelievable game, Naisu. That's just game number one, but it was a great exchange from Team Spirit and Foot Esports. This is absolutely not the Foot Esports we saw yesterday. They have improved so much. The moment that they face Team Spirit, it feels like they have awakened. They have showed us how it's done. And Psyche, on that last clash, outplaying many members of Team Spirit, was the reason why they were able to kill Egoist at first with that play, and then outplays Hiko so that they can punish Hiko. But the thing that I want to really say here is that Foot Esports, their box was just pristine, and we're gonna be talking about that soon. For now, we're gonna be heading into the stage for post-game one analysis.
And we're back here once again. I mean, what a game, dude. What a game. Just incredible experience. Thank you very much to the casters for casting the game. My name is REXUS KG9, aka Steelborg. I'm joined here with Haiti. I mean, what a game. So fast-paced. It was crazy. It felt like Team Spirit almost made it comeback.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell back and forth who is going to be a victor for this game. I mean, Foot Esports, I mean, the way how they came back early game was actually intense.
Yeah.
I would like to especially specify Kazu, right? His name? He was playing actually phenomenal. And but before that, I would like to mention one more thing, guys. I would like to remind you that Digital Games, sponsored by Football Discipline, sponsored by Samru Kazna, and would like to appreciate them for making it possible. And Digital Soccer, aka football, is actually sponsored by Samru Kazna, and thank you very much. And it was from actually yesterday until August 9th, actually. You know that? So they are actually playing as well as we're broadcasting our mobile.
Yes. What a game! I mean, I can't just like Steelbox said, it was so intense because initially we actually thought Team Spirit has an advantage going forward. I mean, during the draft phase, but then I think early on, starting from around 4th minute, the foot just took. They had the foot on the pedal, like they were going all in, especially as you said, the Kazu. He was like all in. I believe he got in total, I mean, we are yet to see it on the screen, but I believe he got a total of around 16 kills.
I'm pretty sure it was like 13, but maybe more. I don't remember because I definitely see that 13 kills, but we're seeing the highlights here. Meanwhile, I mean, honestly, I'm from Dota background. It just, for me, this game, mobile, it's just so fast-paced game. It's like me seeing everything going through so quickly, back and forth. I mean, shout out to Team Spirit. I mean, they played phenomenally. The early game was phenomenal. The draft was very, like, they were very happy, but it was a little bit, I would say risky.
Risky,
right?
And early stage, like as you can see, I think at 2 points, at one point, Foot really came close to the Team Spirit base, where around 13th minute, I mean, I really thought Foot took it, but then they had to back out, and then around 16th minute, I mean, the Team Spirit actually smashed Foot, where they took out 4 players, and by the time I think we only had XC from Foot left at that point. But I mean, that was only 1 player left from that team. But how they took it to the end, and that was a chaos right there after 16th minute. I really thought that would have ended there, but it did not. But they pushed it all the way, and then just Foot took it. I mean, we really didn't see that coming. And Hiko even got some early on around, let's say 8th minute. He took out some turrets, which was really commendable. Really good performance.
It was good performance, Team Spirit overall. I mean, also the crowd were amazing and cheerful. I mean, it's only first game here at the day 1 of Mobile, and we always see the half of, like, the most people are already watching and cheering for their teams. I mean, what a game. Also, I'd like to mention XZ, as you were saying. The guy hasn't died for a game.
Exactly.
He decided to, I think, kill himself on the late, when they were hitting the throne.
That was one point where it was just XZ. There was nobody else. Everybody, they took out everyone, and it was just XZ trying to keep the team on the map.
I mean, what a game, man. the Food Esports coming back through, and I mean, we see the Team Spirit, the previous champion over their last tournament, and now they're coming here. Maybe they're a little bit tired, maybe whatnot. I mean, they just came. I heard they came yesterday. Yesterday night. So I'm not, or morning. So
that's really fresh.
Maybe there's a time zone differences. Maybe they're like a little bit tired and whatnot because they've been traveling all over the place. I mean, but I mean, what a game, man! What a game!
I think that was, like you can see on the screen on the highlights. That was Kazu's 17th kill, and that was with only 3 deaths. I mean, if you look at that, at around 18th minute, we have 17 kills for Kazu. It became 18th, and that was the final kill. So, and also he had 1 assist, which means in the total number of kills for Foot, he actually he was a part of like 18 kills.
I mean, that guy,
the total 25.
That guy makes a kill per minute. I don't know, this guy is that good. Kazuk, I mean, playing and showing off on against Team Spirit. I mean, you're facing off as champions and you're pulling 18 kills on them. I mean, come on, man. Like, what a chat, what an absolute chat. But now, Team Spirit, they did their strategy with their draft making on full damage, right? And now let's see how they're gonna change. Are they gonna change a little bit? Maybe they're gonna pick a little bit tanky heroes and a little bit shield heroes, so that way they could balance the draft out. Because I mean, Team Spirit, you guys are 1 step away to get eliminated, and I'm sure you guys don't want to get eliminated that early, especially you guys pulling off a victory on your previous tournament. You tell me, what do you think about everything, like your feelings, emotions?
It was actually very intense, because I mean, it's interesting to see. But anyway, whoever is watching the games, I mean, do not miss the games, because you can get the tickets on Ticketon, and also huge shout out to Freedom for being the general sponsor for MLB, for the Games of the Future Astana 2026. Again, the Foot, it was, as we said, like Kazu did like amazing, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if he became the MVP after this game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the guy makes a 1 kill per minute. Just an amazing performance.
Yeah.
For me, as a weaver myself, it's just seeing this fast-paced, quick game. I mean, that's so much things are going on in the small like fraction of 30 to 40 seconds, and everybody is living and taking on the thrones. And we see here toe-to-toe comparison between RX and Hiko. I mean, Hiko actually played also very fair, and he did well.
Yeah, I think initially, as I said, I mean, he went for 2 towers, I think, around the 8 to 19th minute mark, which was really nice. I mean, we are looking at the KDA, I mean, 16 was 0.8. I mean, it's really good. And about the gold, if we see like 9K, and then Hiko is right up there with 10K.
Look at the damage differences. I mean, that's 24,000 to 14,000, like.
That's almost double.
It is doubled. It is doubled, and taken, as you can see, the RX took more damage too as well in apparently. But I mean, RX took the more damage. Yes, he didn't do more damage, but he ended up though.
Yeah, that's true. And also, do you think Team Spirit went a little confident at the start, because after the draft phase, I think they had the more advantage, or at least from the POV of the audience, like when we see the heroes that they picked. I mean, they had a slight advantage. So do you think that advantage really affected when they again went into the map?
No, 100%. I mean, we saw the guys were actually standing up and cheering and being happy to say that they were out drafting and pulling it through for damage. I respect that confidence level, but I mean, you guys now one step away to get eliminated for $1 million.
Oh,
I mean, let's run it out. $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And you guys gonna stick to that plan initially, or are you guys gonna change it? What is your guys think? And yeah, so we'll see how the Team Spirit is gonna go. Meanwhile, we'd like to also tell you guys the official website of the future games is astana2026.go-the-future.games. All the information are there, and as you can see here in your screen, beautiful futuristic Astana, and this is right in the middle was actually Jack Arena, and now we're flying through our beautiful town, city of Astana. I mean, you just came to Astana. Tell us your experience.
Oh yes, I love the city already. I mean, I haven't got enough time to explore it, but whenever we drive through the city, we actually know like there are some really cool stuff around the city, which we really need time to explore more. But I can't wait. I'm really excited to see what the city has to offer. Like, it has got everything, I should say. And also, I can't forget the weather. I mean, come on, it's some good weather right here. I've been walking a lot, and we got the MVP on the screen. I mean, Kazoo, I mean, we saw that coming, right?
I mean, he will earn that. There is no question, no doubts about it. He pulls 18 kills on the previous champions, on the first game, on the playoffs. I mean, what an absolute Chad.
Exactly, 79% kill percentage. Like, he took 79% of the kills that the whole team had. That's like heavyweight lifting on his own shoulders for the team. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge, because remember there was the early game started with Team Spirit actually leading. They got the two kills first, and they were taking the draft whatsoever. So like, they were actually applying the pressure, but Kazoo was the guy who actually made 5 kills, and he was a leader, let's put it that way, of his team. He put the team to the lead, and then that's where the Food Esports, the other Food Esports, followed him through and actually supported him very well. And I mean, a great job from our Turkish players there. I mean, what a
very
beautiful
true.
performance.
I mean, initially I really thought, because since after the draft phase, I was like, okay, possibly the Team Spirit is gonna take this one. But when they started, it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. But let's give a big shout out to sponsor Yandex Go. Make your life easier. You got everything on the Yandex Go app. Do not miss that. Download the Yandex Go app. You got the QR code right up there on the screen. Scan the QR code, get the app, and make your life a lot easier. This is gonna be really as easy as watching this game, and exciting as well. So we are yet to see, because we are 1 game down. There are 2 more games, I mean 2 more rounds to go with the same teams, Foot versus Team Spirit. So now, since the Foot has 1 point advantage, the next 2 games are going to be really crucial if really Team Spirit want to win, because they have to win the next 2 games.
Yeah, come to think about it, Haiti, you say 2 rounds. Are you sure that Team Spirit are not going to lose 2-0?
We don't know.
We don't know, but we'll definitely will know as soon as we get to see our beautiful video that we're gonna share to you right now.
Did you know that Games of the Future has symbols representing it? That's right. There are 4 characters, which are called Guardians, whose purpose is to represent the spirit of competition. iBoat, a robot made out of titanium and neon parts who believes in inner strength and power of friendship. iBot has a special ability too. The robot is able to cut off enemies' power supply and breathe life into inanimate objects. Arlon, a cyber wolf with a rich silver fur and holographic glow, a great mentor and a formidable warrior in the field. He is able to accelerate time and predict the movements of his foes. He is responsible for the territories of Battle Royale and Phygital Shooting. Eileen, she is truly fearless and wild. Her sporty outfit and gaming equipment are truly wonderful, along with her useful backpack that is there to help out in any situation. She keeps the areas of Dota and MLBB to herself. Finally, last but not least, Alum. This eagle is a fighter with golden feathers who likes to wrestle, play football, and basketball. Everywhere he flies, he leaves a trail of petroglyphs. His special ability allows him to analyze the situations at unimaginable speeds. He is a keeper of many areas, and we love him for it.
We are here at the round of 16 for MLBB. We have 4 more days to go, including today. And today we have a lot more games coming up as well. I mean, we are 1 game, 1 round down with Foot versus Team Spirit. So as we said, like, next 2 games are going to be really, really important for Team Spirit if they really want to get out there and not get eliminated.
I mean, let's focus on the second game because you're already giving Team Spirit the victory in the second game. I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, hopefully we'll see 3 games.
Yeah.
But let's see if the Team Spirit, the strategy, they're gonna change it or not, because they were losing confidently, but that confidence now is damaged.
Yeah. Now
it's important to see how are they gonna pull it through. I mean, once again, we are in the single elimination bracket. There is no, once you're out from the tournament.
Yeah.
And if the teams would like to do well, they need to show and stand up right now. This is the perfect time to wake up and be ready.
Right. I think they're gonna have to be really careful on the next draft stream phase that they don't make. I mean, we cannot call that any mistakes, right? Because their drafting was good for Team Spirit. I mean, initially, but again, as Steve Marco said, I mean, they'll have to replan again if needed, because after the first game, now it's more like they have to be a bit more careful for the second game if they really want to push that onto a third game or not, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's take a look how the guys are gonna do. I mean, and especially Foot Esports. I mean, they didn't look scared against the champions of the previous tournament, and they're actually doing it fine. And I mean, Kazu doesn't care who he's playing against. You're champion, you're not champion. He doesn't care. I like the confidence, and players are getting ready and casters are getting ready, guys. And I would like to give our words to casters. Please, guys, take it away. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our hosts, and we are indeed ready for game number 2. We talked about how there should be a different kind of approach now for Team Spirit. Do you feel the same way? Do you think the Team Spirit should change their MO right now? Because I felt like they did have a good idea of this composition they have. It's just that they were too honest in the first 3 picks. Whereas for Foot Esports, it's just the shape of the meta. Melissa plus 2 tanky dudes, easy to win.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, definitely, I would say you have to change the game plan. Fanny's always a bit of a risk, right? I mean, every time, I think most MLBB fans, when they see a Fanny pick up, like, you still get a little excited, but you know that this could go pretty wrong, too. You know, and the way Team Spirit played it is, again, when you fall behind like the way that they did at a certain point in that game, they just started pushing across the map, you know, take down some of the base turrets, push down what you can, but you could still see where their team fighting was pretty good. But the problem was that, again, Sawo, as you see him on screen here, and we jump into this draft, he really struggled on Cho. So maybe if it was a different pick, although he did get to combo some of the kicks, you know, into Kid Bomba and everything else, there were some moments there, but you just saw how difficult it was for him to actually get through the tankiness, that front line that Foot Esports had. And then eventually, once your Melissa was all scaled up for RX, that was fine. And yeah, Kazuway, the MVP of game one, was like 9-0-1, fully stacked Skypiercer on HIFROST. So, you know, what do you do against that? As she's just kind of shredding through whoever she wants to. And that's why, you know, the change here, Wolf, is Team Spirit will take the HIFROST in the first pick, blue side.
Yeah. You get away from Foot Esports. You take the Melissa right now. If you're Foot Esports, well, they decide to go for the Valentina, to go with the better natural answer. No, Team Spirit. I think that they're incentivized now to pick up the Melissa themselves. I don't see why not. Maybe the Pakido could be an alternative. Eudora also natural pickup here for Team Spirit. So they do go for the Pakido as well as this Eudora. And now Foot Esports. You're gonna be thinking, should we get the Harley now? Should we get the Melissa? No, they will go for this Esmeralda instead, because it is a good answer to the Pakido in general. You have a lot of shields on the Pakido, and the Esmeralda could be a way for you to take advantage of the situation. So understandable why Foot Esports did this, but I think the real problem that they will be facing is the possibility of the of the Melissa being banned out.
And this is yeah, the Melissa, if it gets banned out or anything like that, but the first three picks that are already here too for Team Spirit is looking a lot like what worked for them back in MSC. You know, and again, I like how our panelists mentioned, you know, think about Foot Esports. They don't care who they're going against. They don't care who they're facing against these champions from MSC just last week. They're willing to go ahead and give it their all, and now they're in this position where one more game will send Team Spirit out of this tournament. I mean, to be the team to do that would be a great statement for Foot Esports, you know? And so even if you look at them, the only thing that I guess Valentina's in a weird place for me, man. Wolf, like, I feel like, yeah, you usually pick it up, especially when the Atlas was picked up on blue side, you know, but you see that Team Spirit banned it out. They got themselves a Belric. Valentina is one of those things where it's just more of a, let's just pick it up just in case, right? Because right now, if you look at it, the only thing you're probably going to take over there is that Thundering Wrath, or that ultimate of the Eudora, you know? And there's kind of these unique ways that you can utilize Valentina's kit plus the Eudora when she changes into her, you know? That can complement really well with having a Belric, and then of course you've got the Esmeralda, but I think you really got to cover your bases with your last two picks for Foot Esports to make this work better than the first three picks that Team Spirit has. The rest of the draft about to finish here on this last ban. Like you mentioned, the Melissa was banned out. They went and focused down on the roamers because, again, we got to see what Sal is going to end up playing here to be kind of that front line and have a better game than he did on the Cho.
Okay, so I share the same sentiments with the Valentina, but at the same time, I think the teams are just so pressured into picking up the Valentina with the Beleric because they would always think that copied or an IMU Dryad is always a threat, which I feel like is an overreaction. At the same time, we can't blame them. They will pick the Nolan this time to match up against this HIFROST instead of the Hardy. Well, the Brody as well as the Melissa, they are both banned out. This means the Team Spirit can just focus on this Pakido in the jungle or the gold lane role, and then pick up an EXP that can match up against this Esmeralda. Apparently, it's going to be the Arlet and maybe a glue to go with it, so that, or even an AOKI actually, or a Badang. Badang is what they paired this up with because there's a lot of like options for stuns for refreshing your vengeance stacks. Else, it's a good glue game in case if they don't want to leverage the Arlet with the Badang. Instead, they go for Hylos. Actually, that's surprising.
I was thinking to be the Hylos. Again, it's just like you kind of need something. You mentioned the glue, yeah? So it's like either the Hylos, I guess, yeah, Roam glue, or because like if you look at the bans, there's not that many choices for the Roam right now, and you might as well pick something with a Revitalize to kind of help you sustain a little bit longer here. But they also get an R-lot. When was the last time we saw Kid Bomba play the R-lot? I'm trying to think. If I don't recall him playing it at all in MSC.
Yeah, they probably have not played it. Okay, so Yuzhong last pick we see from Foot Esports. This is a tricky scenario now for Foot Esports. At the same time, I think they have a more comfortable draft with the Esmeralda. I feel like it is okay versus the Arlet. It's not threatened at all by the Arlet in the laning stage, I feel like. But of course, in other portions, that is going to be a problem. Hylas is a generally good hero against Esmeralda. It's always been an answer to the Esmeralda because you can just keep on holding that hero down, and there's really not much that Esmeralda can do, especially if there's like dominant size or any sort of anti-heal that's available for their opponents. However, I feel like this hero composition that Team Spirit has chosen is quite tricky in a way that they have to play perfectly. And on the other side, it's more like, okay, let's go for pickoffs. As long as the Nolan is constantly dealing the damage, I feel like it will be good for Esports. Oh wait, I remember now. They went in for the Esmeralda as opposed to the usual, so it means that the Esmeralda will go up against the Paquito, which even is a much better gold lane matchup for Foot Esports again.
Well, here we go. Jumping into game 2. Right now, it's match point for Foot Esports, potentially sending home Team Spirit if they win this next one. I would say it was closer than we expected, or it was closer than it looked, at least in game 1, Wolf. You know, and there's definitely things that Team Spirit needs to adjust here. That being their composition this time around. They brought something a little bit different, but also for Sunset Lover, this pick, this Eudora, has worked so well last week and a half or 2 weeks. Now, can they capitalize on that performance here in game 2 to extend the series to game 3? I mean, I think a lot of people would be really surprised with the results here. Foot Esports comes out with a sweep against Team Spirit.
Yeah. Well, Bloodspet. It's a Hylas versus Belleric. Two very tanky heroes, but with 3 heroes coming out from Foot Esports, they jump in, they take it. Already started kill in the farming coming out from the Nolan, and that is a welcome sight for Foot Esports.
Great start already. You know, first blood going to the hands of Kazuya here. We saw an insane performance on the Hirara in his hands in the previous one, going, I don't know, 13-0, whichever it was, but fully stacked with the Sky Piercer. And now this time, a great start to the Nolan. We already know Nolan, if he scales up early on, he is so deadly. That burst damage potential is so much to deal with. If a Nolan across from you gets stacked up here. Right now, it's Czar trying to pull this turtle. First objective of the game to get it started.
Yeah. He's setting up. Cat is away with almost level 5. Czar Egoist is gonna go and take that lizard. And Kazuya feels like, okay, let's stop for a bit. And they're going to be waiting for their Esmeralda, so it's going to be a 5v4 in case for Foot Esports. The Paquito coming out from Team Spirit also wants to get in here. Sao is just level 3 for now. Naisu, they try to team fight against Turtle.
Oh, a big setup. There's the final slash we were looking for, and now Kid Bomba chasing down Psyche. He's got his own final slash, but not able to do anything. Turtle secure. They're going to look for another kill, a double in the hands of Hiko. Great team fight and objective.
Amazing final slash coming out from Team Spirit. And Sour Egoist, did he take the origin? He took it, right?
Yeah, he took it.
No.
And that's why he recalled.
Team Spirit are so back, about 2,000 gold now. They are ahead with, and RX getting melted down. The Paquito might not be enough against the Esmeralda, but with that Eudora running rampant, they will take more. Sao is going to scout out the 3 members of Foot Esports and protect their own Rock Ursa. No invasion coming out from Foot Esports, denied by Team Spirit.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Just give Sunset Lover the Eudora, man. You know, picks up a glowing wand, gets his first item locked in. He's sitting on 2 kills. Hiko as well. This is also the best start that you could hope for if you're any team. Your gold laner and your mid lane basically have 2 kills each. You know, Czar Egoist hasn't needed to do much. They're going to chase down. Whoa, RX is gone again. They just went for the move in between tier 1 and tier 2 turrets.
Okay. So probably aid Foot Esports into pushing up top on a final slash that was copied by Psyche. And that is a great pick off. Kid Bomba erased up top. There will be a push now for Foot Esports. However, Hiko actually takes out a full outer third energy shields down the bottom lane for himself, gets a push on as well. And this means that Team Spirit will not be trailing when it comes to the gold. In fact, they're still leading by 2,000. Good trading coming up from Team Spirit. This is such a good engage coming up from Foot Esports, but the trade from Team Spirit were better.
Yeah, this is one of those cases again where this kind of lead, this early on, it means quite a bit. 3,000 gold under the 5-minute mark. You're setting yourself up to be able to go ahead and fight into the second turtle. Most likely be able to secure it. They're going to poke down already. Blotz, he's just burning down. Already falls. Glorious Pathway already dropped down too. A final slash comes through to push out Kazue. And now Bomba could be in trouble. Still goes in for the re-engage. He's actually going to be able to survive as XC falls. A great fight there for Team Spirit, and that'll get them the second turtle here.
Yeah. Another snowball in Team Spirit. Whenever they group up, they know exactly who to target. They take out XC immediately. And now they're going to be wrapping around it, probably the Esmeralda or maybe around their own orange camp. Interestingly, Bloodsvet is scouting out this area. They're actually calling the members of Foot Esports in here. RX will be able to get out of the sticky situation. And while that was happening, Team Spirit already takes out the turret up top, and Foot Esports are too clumped up together that they're losing objectives around the map.
They want to go for Sao here. A copied Glorious Pathway dropped down. It's splitting down in the mid lane. Not sure if there's going to be a follow through. Zar looking for a potential setup there. Now they're going for block. Pops the grab of the Dryad. Final slash already comes through too. Sao and Hiko like the Team Spirit wants. Kid Bomba is going to be next. The Shaw Essences come through, but RX will get some revenge to pick up a kill. That's 3 deaths for Team Spirit in the mid lane. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, there's some burst. I was not expecting RX. I guess he was feeling too good about the kill.
Yeah, feeling too good about the kill. That would have been a clean take for Foot Esports. They might have taken more gold afterwards, but that is RX, the gold laner of Foot Esports. The Esmeralda sacrifice, being taken out, by Team Spirit. So this means that Team Spirit's lead will still be intact. It's still 3,000 gold, and Foot Esports, because they are so clumped up together for the past few minutes, despite them getting a 3-for-1 trade-off, they still are losing when it comes to their economy. So they really have to correct this at a certain point. They really have to put farm on the gold laner. Kazue alone will not be able to carry this game first.
Oh. Here's their setup. Team Spirit trying to go for Blottsvet. He's taking enough to survive it though. The fight for this third turtle. Foot Esports wants it. They want to equalize the gold here if they can. Open up the map a little bit more for them. They're just down 1 turret in terms of Team Spirit here. But it looks like Team Spirit's actually going to fight them off this turtle. Be able to secure it. They are pushing off RX a little bit further. Zar Egos will secure. So that's 3 for 3 turtles for Team Spirit. Foot Esports, even though they're going to have to do better than that when this Lord does come up in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm going to be focusing now onto this middle part. And Glorious Pathway is going to be a spell of choice now for Psyche. Sao pops his own Glorious Pathway for some reason. And even Sunset Lover just pokes out Bloodsvet. And that's a big resource that Team Spirit does not have. But it seems like it doesn't matter. They will still press the attack. They will take that inhibit the outer turret and then the purple buff. And Team Spirit are really forcing out some mistakes from Foot Esports now.
This is what you kind of expect here. They're playing to the advantage. They built themselves up. Nice, comfortable lead still. 5,000 up. That gives them a little bit of advantage when it comes to the team fights, but it's still, like we saw for that mid lane fight earlier on, Wolf, it's just, Team Spirit still has to be careful on how they approach the fights. it could come down to just, you know, getting that great final slash. And you got to think about it too, the final slash, and if the conductors are placed correctly and everything else with Sunset Lover, you can also get a multi-stun off of that. Either that or that extra damage, depending on what Sunset Lover decides to do on the Eudora here. But FUT Esports so far has shown us that they can adjust pretty well. And if they get some more of these defensive items built in, that'll really help. See, Plusvet taking some of that damage already. They're going to crash down on Kid Bomba. Kid Bomba going down. They jump back into the fight here, but it's the trade. XP for XP. XE goes down. Plusvet burns the flicker to survive with 1 HP. And that's crucial timing, because now Lord's coming up in 10.
Yeah.
TS wants to take down a tier 1.
Hiko even forcing some reactions up top. The turret is very low. They've taken out the middle. They have taken out the top. Now they're working on the Lord. The Team Spirit in just a chain of good events for them. They are able to take a lot of objectives and then neutral objectives to boot, with the Lord now being on their side. They have so much real estate to work with in this map. So much. How can FUT Esports find an opening here? They do get some trades, but it's never going to be enough, as Team Spirit are just way better at taking parts of the map for themselves.
Yeah, they've showcased that. Now Team Spirit off this Lord. And with the lead that they have here, they can start knocking on these base turrets, or at least approaching to get down some of the shields here that FUT Esports has. I think if you look at what FUT Esports can do here and turning this around, you know, one of the most difficult things, again, is having this Esmeralda. You don't have that traditional marksman that you're looking for. So they really have to have these calculated fights. Holy Defense Shield going to pop down at the bottom side as Lord makes its way, charges on into that turret. Black Dragon form dropped down too. I'm not sure if they really want to start a fight here. Whoa! Saki already brought down to a sliver of health very quickly from Sunset Lover. Has to go heal back up. That might just be it. Just one base turret going down as they're going to work on this Lord here.
Oh, Eudora is just such a menace in this meta game that we have. It's so difficult to deal with. We're going to be pushing in the middle right now. A Team Spirit. Okay, so they just want to clear the way for now with that final slash. Fishing for someone. They will force the pop, the holy shields in the middle. They do have the push in the bottom already. And now they're trying to push up top, but no, Team Spirit decides to just back out. There's no reason to really dive into FUT Esports, especially because they don't have their marksman as well. So it's like a double fighter setup. But maybe because of this final slash, Blotsvet, exchange of bullets.
Oh! He goes in with a flicker, Wrath of the Dryad. They're able to pick up 2 kills. I was not expecting Blotsvet to take that, but he went anyway. And now the rest of the FUT Esports gonna run it down here. Zara Egoist looking for Psyche, can't find him, gets terrified. Causeway to pick up the kill. What a turnaround decision from FUT Esports. And now looking to go for Sao. Sao trying to walk away here as slowly as possible, but Causeway will take him out. And that is a big team fight once again for FUT Esports.
Amazing plays coming out from Blotsvet. You would think that he was already, but FUT Esports, with the amount of decision making for you to decide to take the fight instead of running away, that really surprised Team Spirit and astonished them. They get 2 immediate kills afterwards, and then Psyche schools Zaur Egoist, uses the Terrify to force Zaur Egoist to face and hug the wall and take out the HIFROST, the pesky HIFROST for FUT Esports getting outplayed, and all of a sudden they're back in the game. They don't have the lead whatsoever, but you're feeling that FUT Esports are now getting the momentum back on their side. Unfortunately for them though, the long lane is in the favor of Team Spirit because of their lack of inhibitor turrets. So they have to be quick when it comes to deciding on this Lord fight.
Oh, they're gonna cause the fight anyway. Lord of the half health, Black Dragon form already used up by XE. He's gonna go in and looking for Zaur Egoist, gets the knock up, and Zaur Egoist is gone, but the shutdown, both jump could come down to just someone grabbing the Lord here. RX trying to get away. Hiko has the punches lined up as he takes out RX. He's gonna be looking for more. Psyche. Hiko is a threat alongside Zawo, and Hiko comes in clutch with a double. Can he get the triple? XE locked down by the rest of the team. They're gonna chase him down. Kid Bomba looking to keep him locked in. Now Hiko goes in, but Kid Bomba gets the kill, and they'll start up the Lord here. Team Spirit fought that one far.
Great idea coming out from Esports, going on to saweria. They were successful into taking down the opposing jungler, but because they dove with almost all of their members onto the backlines of Team Spirit, they weren't able to protect their Nolan. And unfortunately for Foot Esports, they don't have other options of dealing the damage. Obviously, they have RX as well as Psyche that can actually output some damage, but it's not like for Team Spirit where you have the Paquito who is always going to be the source of DPS for Team Spirit, as well as saweria, and then Sunset Lover. In fairness, Psyche actually was able to take out Sunset Lover on his own, but unfortunately, Team Spirit still has so much damage coming out from Hiko.
Yeah, this is just so much to deal with right now. You can already see push into the base here. Team Spirit looking to take us to game 3. They know they've got the Lord working with them. They're going to take down 2 base turrets. Base going to be fully exposed. Foot Esports is a final slash right on cue. Psyche's gone. Black Dragon form used. Sunset Lover already using the Thundering Wrath. XE trying to jump in to keep him at bay. Knocks him into the air. Crashes down, but look at the burst come through. And now Foot still surviving. They're looking for Hiko. If they can take down Hiko, that'll be big. But he's got the shields working with here. And XE now lined up, dropping down the glorious pathway. They're still looking to clean up as RX and Cosway are here. They want to clean out the minions if they can, but it's a slow death for RX, and now Team Spirit, they can just lock onto the base. It's only one cannon minion. Cosway trying to clean it up, but it won't happen, and Team Spirit will survive to game 3.
Hiko on the Paquito. You can see the nuke damage coming out from this Paquito, taking out members of Foot Esports left and right. The champions of MSC are not going down just yet. They force a game number 3 in this situation. And although Foot Esports looked like they were finding a lot of good fights, I feel like not having a marksman or any other gold laner was a problem for them. The Esmeralda third pick coming out from Foot Esports was already very good, but it wasn't enough. As it stands, there was severe lack of damage from Foot Esports in the end. More of game number 2's analysis after this, as we now head and throw it to the break.
Үлкеністер, әр қадамы жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолда сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылығы.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
And we're back here once again at beautiful Jack Prison 1, as you were predicting, Haiti.
Oh my God, that's a tie finally. I mean, we are going to have a third game now, for sure.
We are definitely going to have a game number 3 now. Thank you very much for casters. My name is Ilyas Kokyanov, aka Silborko, joined by Haiti here. Yeah, I mean, as you were predicted, the game 3 is going to be in,
One
Team
more
Spirit
game. Yes.
came back through, and they just did it so well. I mean, what do you think?
Of course, let's give a big shout out to Freedom for making all this happen. MLBB right here in Jepijek Arena, because we are having a great time. We thought the game, we didn't know where the second game is going to go, because that's going to decide if we're going to have a third game or not. And finally, I think Team Spirit, they literally fought back. And then they got the win for the second one, which means we are going to have a third game. And that's going to be really crucial, because that decides who stays and who's going to go out. But I think that was a really good win, the last game.
That was definitely, and we'd like to show it in the highlights here right now. And for me, stood out the most is the actually Hiko.
Oh, yes.
Right? Hiko. I mean, he woke up and he was actually doing it so well. I mean, the game 1 he did good.
Yeah.
But like on the game 2, he would just absolutely like
he smashed it.
Yeah, he outmastered the food esports.
Yeah.
And I mean, Team Spirit, they woke up.
Yeah.
They gave a shot. The fans here were more cheering for more Team Spirit than the favor. It felt like that. And I mean, Team Spirit, the champions, I mean, of course, from the previous tournament. Now they're here at the beautiful Games of the Future here in Astana 2026. They did phenomenal, and we're seeing the team fight right now in the minute 5, and they're like, look at this team fight, and the team formation overall. It's just so nice and clean and smooth from the side of Spirit, on the side of Team Spirit.
That's
and on the mid lane, there's so many chaos happening.
Yeah.
People are running back and forth, and the blow splitters running down, and just back and forth. Actually, Food Esports here actually winning the team fight.
Yeah, I think initially when, because the first blood was taken by Kazu, so I think he's going to repeat the same thing that what he did in the first game, like he's going to go for it back to back. But then after the first blood, that was around 1.5 minutes, and then slowly I think Team Spirit started taking back in control. But yeah, around 11 minutes, I think it was already a pure chaos right there in the middle, and also towards the EXP lane. But I think after 14th minute, I think it was more on Team Spirit. Like it was more favored on Team Spirit, because he got the Lord's lane, and then after that, I think they all marched right to the base for of TS. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Hiko got his timings right, as soon as he got his items right, levels right, he just got everything to finish the game right here and right there, and nothing that Food Esports could done. I mean, but however, shout out to Food Esports. Take a look at the top here, the near fight on Lord here, and they're just out maneuvering here, Team Spirit.
Yeah.
And
I think the fight was really tight. If you look at right now, it was like 12-12. It was like 12 kills each, and also if you turn back to around, let's say 12.5 minutes, that was around 8 or 9 kills each. So it was like one team getting 1 kill, and then the other team following them with another one as well. So that was a really tight fight right there. And also towards around 15th minute, this is where it all happened. And then I think the last kill was, I believe, Hiko got the last lane, and then the last kill, and then that was the end. Like Team Spirit took it to win.
No, that's 100% for sure. I mean, Heiko was playing it very well, and as I mentioned, he woke up. But I also like to shout out to Kazu. Right?
Yeah.
The first game he pulled off on 18 kills, and this time he just had died only once, and he had 9 kills.
Yeah.
Just this time the strategy didn't work for Food's favor, but it worked for Spirit.
Yes.
And they are not out from the tournament just yet.
Yeah.
We'll be experiencing to see a great game of number 3. And that would be exciting, because, I mean, once again, it would be awesome. As you can see, the Heiko, how much gold he got, 15k, I mean.
That's a really good kill, because even the first blood was drawn by Kazu, and then the last blood was run out of Kazu, I would say. The final kill was Kazu, and then the first kill who scored was Kazu, which is really interesting. I mean, the point, as we see the kills, we got 18 versus 14. I mean, that's a 4-kill lead for Team Spirit. Clear victory right there. And then let's look at Kazu again. I mean, Kazu again outperformed the other players on the team, right? I mean, he's got 9 kills. I mean, only 2 deaths and 3 assists. That's like, let's say 12, taking part in 12 of the kills, like 9 proper kills and 3 assists. Really good performance, I would say. And of course, I mean, Hiko, I mean, he took the team to the victory, I would say.
Yeah, he actually did very well. And also, I'd like to mention Sawo for making most assists, always there on point, always supporting a team and being like a good shield, I would say, to help them out. And also, I would like to mention to you guys to watch all the games of the future. You guys can watch at our OTT platform, Phygital Plus, phygital-plus.com. All the games are accessible there. You can watch Dota 2. I mean, MOBA. There's a football. There's a Phygital shooter. There's so many things, basketball, anything. Yeah, you can watch anything there. Please take it away. We're moving forward with our game.
Yes, and just one more game to go. That's going to be really interesting because this is where the whole excitement happens, right? I mean, if the last game was won by foot again, I mean, that doesn't give this excitement. Now it's more like both of them got 1 point each, and we are yet to find out. The next one is going to be really, really crucial, quite literally, because they need to step up. Both of the teams need to step up, and this is what's going to decide if they're going to be moving forward to the next day, or no, they're going to have to go back. There is no other choice.
Yeah, and especially once again, single elimination. You don't want to get eliminated in the first day of this, in the first series of the game. I mean, but somebody from this team, from these teams will. And we see the toe-to-toe comparison between XIERRA and King Boba. Well, that's quite interesting. And we see the hero damage there. It's absolutely big, gigantic, I would say. It's 41k damage from Kid Bomba and
60k for foot. Yeah, I mean that's a big difference too. And also, I think the kill percentage between these two players came really close because XIERRA took 79% of the kills for when it comes to foot, and then Kid Bomba 72. That's like pretty close. I mean, they did really great, to be honest. And we are yet to find out who's going to be the MVP for this day. That's really going to be interesting because last game we actually knew. Once the game finished, we knew that's going to be Kazu. But this time, I mean, I'm really confused. I don't know.
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, you don't want to miss any of these games. Just make sure you watch all the games and you get the tickets on ticketon.com for all the games that's happening here in Games of the Future. Astana, you've got the QR code right up on the screen. Make sure you scan that, download, and make sure you get the tickets and watch all these incredible games because me and Silbarko, we are having an amazing time right here.
Yeah, especially make sure to come here, guys, at GOFERCE Arena right now because you don't want to miss out because people are coming in and you may have no available spaces here because people are coming in, everybody's watching and cheering for their teams, and make sure to come to GOFERCE Arena and experience that with us together. Yeah, moving forward about the MVP though. For me, it's Hiko or Hiko. Yeah,
possible.
From Team Spirit. I mean, the way how he just managed to shield it up and man up for the team and do extreme good work. I mean, Kid Boba was also does a lot of damage. Just excited to see who is going to be at the
MVP for this game. Yeah, I mean, there's only one game left. If somebody has to prove their place in the team, and this is the chance because if they don't get across the next game, I mean, that's going to be tough. I mean, they're going to have to come back up for another year if they really want to get there.
Because you don't want to lose on the first game of the day and the first series, I mean. But you guys are, I mean, you're Food Esports and you're Team Spirit. 2 great teams, I mean.
Yeah.
And now you're watching toe-to-toe, but somebody has to go and somebody has to advance forward.
Yes.
And once we were explaining, single elimination is rough.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, we got one more game for the first one, and we have the MVP right here. Hiko as Streamdeck predictor. That's Hiko. I mean, it was pretty clear, I believe. And there we go. We got 8 kills and only 1 death. That's a good survival rate right there. And also 4 assists, which makes him 12 maybe be a part of 12 kills for the whole team. I mean, that was good.
For sure. I mean, if you look at the GPM, gold per minute, it's almost rounded up by 1,000 gold per minute. It's just a lot. And as you can see, we're currently swimming here in the beautiful Astana. And make sure to come to our beautiful city, beautiful country, and experience this beautiful and joyful experience with us. And yeah, we're just excited to be here.
This is going to be an interesting day because we have a lot more coming. We have one more game to go, one more round to go for Foot Esports and Team Spirit to decide on who's going to stay here in the tournament. And soon after that, we got 3 more matches, 3 more games to go. DFYD versus Vamos, and Geeke versus Aurora, and Rune Eaters versus Pro Esports. So it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be an exciting day. Do you have any? What do you think about the third game? What do you feel about the third game?
Oh, that's going to be depending on the draft. The draft are the matter. So the teams are right now has to sit down and properly decide on what's their next move, what the strategy is going to be, and who's going to take the responsibility over, because now it's going to be important 50 to 20 minutes of their life, because it would be deciding full moment for both of the teams, and one of them has to say goodbye to us.
Yes.
And one of them has gonna go advance forward, and we'll be happy to see their success at our beautiful Games of the Future 2026 here.
Of course, I mean we are watching MLBB. We still got 3 more days to go after this one. So this is the final 4 days of MLBB that we are going to be having here. So do not miss any game, because it's going to get more and more interesting and exciting as the days go towards the finals. And on the next, in 4th, we have on 9th, the grand finals for MLBB, which we still don't know who's going to take it, because we got the last year's runner-up, Aurora Gaming, playing today as well. I mean, they have a good chance of getting there towards the finals. But again, we are yet to find out. We cannot predict anything, because it proved, I think the first game actually proved that we cannot really predict anything, right? We really thought the Spirits were going to take it after the first one, but
yeah, I mean, you can't predict anything. It's just they played for their early game aggressiveness, and they were doing it just fine. I mean, but Kazu, he had different thing in his mind, and he was the phenomenal game 2. Now, game 3, is Kazuki gonna pull this off once again and carry his team up to the ground on the top, or the team spirit is going to show why they're champions?
True.
They will take the third game.
I think most of the eyes are gonna be on Kazu and Hiko, just to watch like what they're gonna bring into the match up next. But yeah, we are also excited to see what they are gonna get to the table. I mean, all of the players actually did really great, to be honest. Like,
I would like to also take a look on Kimboba.
Oh yeah,
I would like to see how he does, and we'll take a look at how is it. And players are getting ready, and the casters are getting ready. Thank you very much, guys. And we're gonna watch the game number 3. Please take it away, guys.
And now it's game number 3. Game number 2 went in favor of Team Spirit in a one-sided manner. It seems like they have waken up already. They are now awake, is what I'm trying to say. And that's also what the panel feels like. Thank you so much for our analysts out there. Now, Foot Esports going up against Team Spirit, game number 3. It's blue side for the Turkish team. And this time, they will ban the Paquito, because Hiko was just way too good at it.
Okay. All right, let's get to this again. It's down to 1 game. We know the tournament lives are on the line here. Wolf, for both teams, Foot Esports, one of the main things is how do you adjust, right? Both teams have really kind of developed a different game plan, I feel like, from game to game. And going into this one, it'll be already starting things off. You know, we have one more band to come through. First pick blue side for Foot Esports. You know, what do they want to go with? I like the Hirara band being taken out here.
Yeah, Hirara, of course. You already saw that the Paquito as well as the Barats is banned. Now, this could mean that the Marcel will be open, and Foot Esports really like to play that hero. And I feel like, in general, teams like to secure that whenever it's available. So I think that the Marcel-ish is on top of the list here for Foot Esports. Apart from that, maybe you're looking at the Eudora that you want to take away from Team Spirit. And I think Team Spirit are going to be very happy to trade up Marcel for the Eudora, in fact.
Okay. Do they actually take the... They take the Marcel then? Like, is that first pick side? Is that what we're thinking?
So I feel like...
Whoa! I guess that's not what they're thinking, man. Valentina? First pick blue side? When was the last time that we saw Valentina being first picked?
A long time ago. But there was one time here in Games of the Future, but not when the Marcel as well as the Eudora is open. Maybe just the Marcel. And Team Spirit are going to be thinking, okay, maybe because of that golden hour, that could be a problem for them. If they do pick it up, they will just give it to the Valentina. Maybe that part of the draft might be a consideration for them. However, they will not care. They put in the Atlas instead of the Marcel. They will go for this Eudora. Scary to give the Fatal Links to your opponents or access to it, but at the same time, Team Spirit feels like it's not just the Fatal Links that you get out of the Atlas anyways. It's a strong mid lane controller. It has great synergy actually with the Eudora, so such a strong composition. Let's see, for esports, they can go Marcel with the Nolan probably.
Yeah, this was almost, in a way, choreographed, right? They just knew that, I guess maybe that was the plan with Coach Tezet there and the rest of Foot Esports kind of pick up the Valentina because we left, the Atlas is open. It's most likely going to go over to Team Spirit, so at least now they have their own Fatal Links, right? So they've got that, but these are two strong picks for Team Spirit. We'll see what the third one, they're going with the Fan, they're running it back. They're going to run it back with the Fanny, man. They're going again. Fanny's there. You've got a little bit more protection, I would say, just because of the fact that you have the Atlas plus the Eudora. You know, you've got the tools that you need to go ahead and lock people down. I mean, can you just think about it too? A Fatal Links into Fanny swinging on forward and the amount of AOE damage or stuns that a Eudora can bring. Like, that's a dream wombo combo, you know, like already.
I know I'm going to be banning out this... Kufra, which was a problem for them in the previous game number 1 specifically, and because of that, they will now shot at maybe securing the game for this Fanny, which kind of means that Hiko will now have to think about a different fighter for the gold lane. Well, there is an option to go for Harith. I feel like it's still a good hero in this. Good hero to answer the Uranus, which you will need a lot of true damage as well as magic damage to go through. Big burst is what you need against this Uranus, so maybe a Harith could be an option. But Foot Esports are going to be focusing on Kid Bomba instead. Okay, Team Spirit are going to be their next band, probably Badang actually, because the Badang is good versus both the Atlas as well as the Fanny.
Cover ground one more time, I guess. Might as well. Because Zara Egoist, man, he resulted in game 1 where he just essentially pushed across the map, and that's not what you want to be doing. You know, you want to be able to go ahead and swing on through those fights. And like you mentioned, at Kufra, one of the main points of why he wasn't able to do that in game 1, the bouncy ball is just too much, you know. And yeah, at least this time too, Sawas doesn't have the Cho. Like, you know, he's got his Atlas. So even if he is kind of stopped in his tracks, you still get to slow people down, right? And Fatal Links will always be a threat to the entire team here. So they take their time with it. They'll be the ones to actually ban out this Cho, the last pick. Again, roam options for Blotsvet. Because of the nature of the bans, I'm just wondering if he's just going to go and fall towards... well, he doesn't have the Balric. No, so Hilda actually comes through, which would have been a good counter against having the Fanny. For Foot Esports, so they actually take it from the hands of Foot Esports.
That's right. That's going to be the XP lane answer to the Uranus, where it was the Hilda that actually is played against tanky heroes in the XP lane, including the Uranus. It's evident in the recent MPL that we've seen Season 17, and I like this decision. Now, Foot Esports, will they go for the Moscow themselves? Yes, they will. And the Badang to go with it, as we expected. An immediate cloud here coming out from Team Spirit. With all due fairness, I think this is a pretty even draft. Foot Esports have equipped themselves with a lot of ways to deal with the Fanny, which makes it really scary. And now it's going to be a battle of execution from both teams. this is game number 3, decider for who will be taken out first in the playoffs of Games of the Future MLBB.
Oh, this is going to be a big one, man. Standard lineup for Team Spirit, I would say, when you look at it. Again, the Hilda isn't brought up too much, but now you, in a way, you've covered your grounds to protect Zara Egoist in the jungle. And for Foot Esports, their lineup and what they're bringing, it's got to be an execution thing. They have to execute here near perfect against this kind of lineup setup that we're seeing. We've seen it before, man, the Harley, right? The Harley can scale up very quickly. The amount of burst damage that comes with that deadly magic and everything else. You know, it was the junglers from Turkey that first introduced Harley back into, I feel like, the competitive meta back in M7. You know, and it was a trade between Tienzi and Kazue. I feel like between both of them picking it up and making it all work throughout the international then. Well, now, here in the Digital Games of the Future 2026, let's see if this Harley pick is going to outshine Zara Egoist's Fanny and make it happen.
You don't have to worry about the Fanny that much if you have the Moskov as well as Badak in theory, right? Still, I feel like on the able hands, a Fanny is always going to be threatening. With all due fairness, with esports have a lot of answers, and so it seems we were just talking about the topics. Our Egoist already starts with the pickoff, and then they will steal this Rock Ursa away from Foot Esports.
Holy moly. Wait, he already went and got a first blood. I'm getting thrown around here because we've got Team Spirit on the right side. They're on red, but we got their frames here on the left.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he got the 1 kill. It was Blotz that went down.
Foot Esports returning invasion in kind. Kazue takes out the Rock set that would have been for Team Spirit, but that kill for the Fanny is so important that Team Spirit will now have a little bit of an advantage into this next turn of fight. Sawo is not level 3, however.
Yeah.
So is, he's now level 3. Bloodfed isn't. I'm going to be blocking up this Atlas. And you have to be very careful, Bloodfed. You just can't throw away your skills and let the Fanny know that you've thrown your skill to even your ultimate. And the reason why that is because that is the launchpad for Zara Egoist to fly.
Whoa. Look at the amount of early damage that Kid Bomba already has too. You know, this is going to work great. Little stun. They're going for the turtle. Kazu able to secure it. Kid Bomba trying to get away from this. He's actually going to go down. So trading out his life. Team Spirit not able to capitalize anything. They do want to go ahead and secure this buff though by Zara Egoist. So they will wait patiently here. Sawo, once he has those level 4s, once he has a Fatal Links, that'll definitely help. And again, you know, this Kid Bomba on the Hilda, you already saw. I'm wondering what build he goes for, just because, I don't know, do we see Hilda in the, when was the last time we saw Hilda in the XP lane? I mean, sometimes, more often than not, I'd say it's Roam, but, you know, because you already got the Atlas there. Again, you go more of a hybrid build because you're really not planning to beat necessarily the Uranus here. It's just, what kind of build do you go here?
Yeah, that's actually deceptive because you can actually build against the Uranus. But now look at this. They go for the initiation. They take out Sunset Lover first. Now Blastfed gonna be next on the docket though for the exchange. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off for the roamer. It's a roamer for mid laner. But to answer a question, there was a time during MPL Season 17 that the Hilda is actually used against the Uranus because at a certain points in the game, yes, you do have burst damage. You just have to wait for Xy's stacks to be out, and then you jump in, you get the Fury Hammer, make it a Heptasis if in case, but you can also go after Fury Hammer purely tank, because again, this is 2 tanky dudes plus this time the Claude as the one that they have to protect.
Oof, even with this attempt though, 3 members of Team Spirit not able to take down XC, so guess Kid Bomba just needs to build up a little bit more. As you mentioned, he has the Fury Hammer. He's probably working on that blade, but the blade's already there for Zara Egoist too. That's why we see, you know, if he actually gets in range, he does do quite a bit of burst damage. Now this turtle's going to be up here shortly. A lot of attention up to this top side. A big lockdown coming through. What a combo!
able to take out Hiko and Sawo. Talk about perfect timing from Blotzfet.
Wow, then that's really, really good now for Foot Esports. And the reason why that is because it is in combination with what we're seeing right now. It's going to be that turtle that they will be able to secure. Foot Esports, and they will even take this turret, give it to RX. This is really good for Team Spirit. For Esports, I mean.
Little split fight here. RX still going to be able to survive, even after the Fatal Links being burned already. Now they're going to pay their attention to Sawo. Blotzfet once again locking down multiple members. Sunset Lever is gone. Kid Bomba's got to flicker out. And this is looking really dicey here already. Almost 5.5 minute mark here for Foot Esports. They're up a lead. 2,000, almost 3,000 gold against Team Spirit.
Yeah. It's really good there for Team Spirit, honestly. And Foot Esports, for Foot Esports up with the 3,000 gold lead. And they have the Moscow to put 2-0-1 on the Moscow, in fact. And the reason why this is really good for Foot Esports is that they have a marksman and they have a scaling hero in the Guys of the Hardy. They have Uranus that also scales, but in terms of tankiness, which is generally going to be good for Foot Esports because they can approach the late game with immense amount of firepower against Team Spirit. And then leading by 3,000 is always going to have that case.
Wow, Fatal Links finding 3, but Sunset Lover is gone. They lose a lot of their damage. Zara Egoist, he can't do anything but watch here. SOD thrown up in the top side when Hiko is pushing that lane. He will be able to get the turret, but man, another devastating loss in the mid lane there as Foot Esports continues to put the pedal to the metal here, man. And they're looking to take down a tier 1 mid. Wolf, it's looking a lot like it did before, where Zara Egoist might be in that situation on this Fanny where he's got to just push across the map. He's got to go ahead and find some openings elsewhere. He does pick up a Malefic Roar. He's already got the Blade of Hepsies. But the biggest problem right now is Blotzfet, man. He has been so on point with Badang. And now this turtle up here, last one of the game. TF's going to go ahead and start it up, waiting for Zara Egoist to make his way here. It's already half health, under half health. Psyche looking for an opening once again. Blotzfet looking for an opening too. Kazuya able to secure the turtle. 3 for 3. And Team Spirit's just pushed off.
Yeah. And this could mean a push for Foot Esports 7 minutes into this game. Team Spirit identifies that. They put some pieces up top, including this Atlas. They really want to fight here. I think that's a better decision. Why is Sao so fast, by the way? I think he popped the conceal to go with it just to get into that fight, but Foot Esports are going to be happy forcing out some of the resources of Team Spirit.
This is going to be hard. They're going to try to hold on to what they can, but these tier 2s already being chipped away here. Sunset Lover just throwing out some damage, checking XE, but he's going to be fine. He'll just go ahead and heal back up. Still has the Consecrate too, and now top turret going to be worked on. It just seems like Team Spirit doesn't have much of a choice at all on what to do here right now. Sawo still has a Fatal Links and a Flicker, but the problem is, if you force a fight, you might just get collapsed on. There's a push here down bot by Zara Egoist, doing exactly what we expect him to do in this situation with the Fanny.
Yeah, there's no other option now, I would say, for Team Spirit. They really have to focus on just split pushing. Maybe wait for the timing where this Claude will now be a threat. It will take a lot of time, especially because of how this game has developed. For Harley is having so much of a good time. XE is now almost unkillable with the Oracle to go with the Kiras, and the Trinity now picked up by RX means that even the Hilda will not have enough of tank ability to put himself in front of this Moscow.
Yeah, this is one of those situations, man, where it's just, you know, you're so far behind in a sense of even your composition just isn't ready to fight. Part of that, it has to lean on the shoulders here of Hiko once he gets that Trinity locked in for the Claude, but even so, you know, how long can he actually stay in the zone with that blazing duet? You know, this is just one of those things where you might have to even give this one up unless they can somehow steal this Lord away. Because as things have gone, they have not gone the way of Team Spirit. This Lord's going to be blitzed on already, sitting at under half health. They're going to go for something. Sawo pushing off Foot Esports from the objective, trying to, goes in with the Fatal Links, but there's the Fatal Links on the other side too. There's the flicker, there's the return, and Sunset Lover is gone. Zara Egoist, no opening for him.
And that's the thing. When we said that it's always going to be a problem to give the Fatal Links or the Valentina, you can see already what heights Psyche could achieve with this Valentina pickup. We were all surprised for this first pick Valentina coming out from the side of Foot Esports, and now they're proving to us why it is a worthy first pick for them. They're playing Psyche. Such a good role here for Foot Esports, allowing for them to win the team fights no matter what happens, and Team Spirit are left scrambling. It's the Lord push, nice, so it's gonna be scary. How much defense can Foot Esports do? Oh, Zarigo survives.
Oh, he tries so. Oh no, Kazue's there. He doesn't get away with the cables. Oh, that is so unfortunate for Zara Egoist. And now, Foot Esports at the base of Team Spirit. Lord will eventually go down, but the shield's gonna pop mid and top unless they hold this last wave. This last cannon minion to push through, so they hold on to the top and bottom. Holy defense shields for now. But you're talking about just not a fighting chance right now for Team Spirit unless some miracle happens. They fall further behind, 7,000 gold behind. They're going to be looking for an opening to stop them in their tracks. They hold on though, but a wave's still pushing, and Zara Egoist is back. Is this Divine Glaive pickup by Sunset Lover enough to change the tides here, to tip the scale in damage?
Yeah, we will have to know. We will have to find out. Not gonna be an easy task here for Team Spirit. Kazuya again, looking for Zara Egoist. Fortunately for him, Kazuya does not have the ultimate. I'm gonna be forcing the purple buff this time. I think that every time that they take away the purple buff with the Fanny, that's always a win for Foot Esports.
Went to Blot's fed. He's got more punches and more walls now.
But yeah, anyone but the Fanny is their mantra right now.
Yeah, you take that away while you can. This is the whole discussion that we had when we were taking some time to get into game one. We talked about how much pressure you can put on a Fanny when it's on the opposing side. And Foot Esports has done that now, you know, for 2 games basically in the series. And it's really made it difficult for Zara Egoist to actually look for any window of opportunity, because even if he splits on the other side of the map, Kazuya has done such an amazing job at keeping him in check. You know, and a Deadly Magic is almost threatening enough to force Zara Egoist back, and you know, this Brute Force breastplate, basically enough defense. I mean, he's hiding that Brute Force breastplate under his robes, man. You know, and that makes him comfortable enough to go 1v1 with a Fanny. So this is just so difficult for Team Spirit to look for this opening angle or this winning angle, unless it's going to be by team fight, by a mistake from Foot Esports. And so they have to wait for their moment, and maybe that moment's going to be around this Lord.
It's tricky. This setup, Sawa is there, but Moskov as well as the Valentina. Oh no, Sawa is too far away.
Oh, and he gets SOD'd. And he gets Deadly Magic. Sawa was looking for something.
Oh, no.
Instead, he finds his death. That just was not coordinated at all for Team Spirit. And that's going to be a Lord going to the hands of Foot Esports. They wanted to set up around the Lord, and unfortunately it ends up in a death of Sawo. Now it's still short timers here, as we're only opening up to the 14th minute of the game. He should be up for the space defense. But man, that got difficult because he burnt the flicker as well in that fight. So now they wait for this Lord to come and approach. Right now, Foot Esports still knocking on these base turrets, though. Some burst coming down from Sunset Lover. XC still going to be able to survive, has not died at all, and they can just wait to walk this Lord to the base.
All things considered, Team Spirit are defending, but they need more. They need more time. They need Hiko to be fully packed. They need a lot of tank items for this hit bomb. Hilda definitely need a purple buff for this right now, and Sunset Lover will be threatening with the stuns. Fortunately for Team Spirit, are able to defend both their turrets. Good skill play coming up from Sawa.
Some good damage already from Hiko. This is what we were talking about. You know, they might have to lean on Hiko here to be that threat for Team Spirit and to actually be the one to give the space for an opening. You know, we've seen it before where Klons can go ahead and utilize that speed and that ability to BMI back, and obviously the Blazing Duet kind of spread out Foot Esports, but at the same time, it's like, do you do that or do you follow through with Sawo setting up with the Fatal Links? Because we've seen how much of a difficult time it's been for Sawo to get that. You know, you're working against the two Purifies over here. Oh, SOD. Sawo's taking some damage. He should be able to get away from this though, but he doesn't want to burn the flicker here, I would think, but the Deadly Magic's already going to use. He does use the Fatal Links, but he keeps on to the flicker, so good thing for Sawo to survive that.
Yeah. Sawo able to run away for now. Team Spirit maybe alive for the next Lord, and it will be around the 16-minute, 17-minute mark. Already you see full items for Hiko. Gonna be waiting for the next item for Kid Bomba to pop up. And again, the Fanny needs the purple buff in that coming team fight. There could be there is an argument that could be made for them to get in to the opposing purple buff. At the same time, it's well guarded by Foot. You can see 4 members just ushering the Harley into the purple buff, making sure that there is no one out there. They take it for themselves. 11 seconds into the turtle. Zaur Egoist. He needs this. He needs to take this purple buff. This 8 seconds from now. Foot Esports. They have an option to contest this. Kid Bomba. This is gonna be an intense one. Zaur Egoist. Egoist, you need to take this real quick.
He's gotta secure this. They want to at least get the Retribution out, yep.
Yeah.
Retribution was used, he secured this, so they know this. Foot Esports knows he doesn't have a Retribution. So this means Team Spirit wants to win a team fight here. If they can, Zaur waiting for his own opening moment. They're gonna go ahead and lock down Blocksvet. He burns the flicker, but Saki holds on to his own Fatal Links. Now Sawo, Blocksvet jumps in. Kazu will be able to secure the Lord. There's the Fatal Link. Sorry, was looking for the opening, but the wall is in the way. And RX is able to go ahead and move and groove through it with an SOD. And now down a member. Down Sawo. Team Spirit facing this Lord push from Foot Esports.
They even burned the flicker onto Sunset Lover. With all due fairness, Team Spirit, I'm actually surprised that only one dropped. After a good initiation coming up from Foot Esports, Sawo countered with his own Fatal Links, but there was another initiation coming up from Blocksvet with the ultimate in the wall. Team Spirit could have lost more, but now they will have a chance to defend their base. They don't have the flicker on Sunset Lover. They don't have the Purify on Hiko. They have still to be careful right now as RX is already doing so much damage, utilizing the kit of this boss from Zaur Egoist. What happened?
He got, I don't know, he got caught on his side of the jungle and got cut off here. He's 35 seconds death timer. They still have this pumped up wave up on the top side. They're gonna do everything they can to maintain it. Their crystal's being worked on by one wave. They got a wave in the mid as well to clear out. They still hold on to the top turret, but now with RX unleashing on the turret, Kid Bomba's gonna be next, and he falls too. And now Foot Esports knocking on the crystal of Team Spirit. This wave's gonna be clearing out. Sunset Lover keeps him at bay with a stun. They still gotta clear out one wave. They gotta manage this. Zaur will be up in 5. There's the Fatal Links from Psyche. The Blazing Duet used, but they're just falling to their deaths. And Hiko pushed off as well. And Foot Esports will do it. They don't care. If they were MSC champions, they're looking to clean this out. They'll take out Zaur as well. Hiko doesn't have the ultimate. There's an SOD. RX wants to go through it. And Foot Esports will send Team Spirit out of Games of the Future 2026.
$1 million denied. Foot Esports did not play this well yesterday. They did not play this well in 2 days ago, but now up against Team Spirit, Kazue, who has faced this squad many times from that western part of the map. And they have taken out the Dragons, the recent champions. The upset is real. Foot Esports from MTC have taken out Team Spirit.
What an amazing game, man. That's Psyche's buff right there. What a series. 3-game series that we just got to witness there. Foot Esports makes it happen against Team Spirit. Well played. GG, well played. And that's unfortunate for Team Spirit, but man, Foot Esports showed us the series today.
And now we throw it over to the stage for an interview.
Oh, you'll do that, right? What do you mean? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have 3 rounds down in the first game. Foot Esports versus Team Spirit. And finally, we have a winner from the first match.
Yeah.
Foot Esports finally took it. That was single-handedly taken.
Yeah, it's well executed single-handedly, as you were saying earlier. I mean, the strategy worked very well. Champions are out.
Yeah.
Champions are out. The first, they just came recently and it couldn't make it through. They didn't they weren't scared and they actually made it just very well. And we'll just do. I mean, I'm so happy for Foot Esports. Like, congratulations. Well done from their side.
Of course, a big congratulations for Foot Esports. They took the winner. And let's give a big round of applause for our general partner, Freedom, for bringing this MLPV here in Games of the Future 2026 Astana. But that was one incredible win. The lead was huge. I mean, I believe around 3 minutes, 30 seconds, we had around two kills for each teams. And then that 2 kills did not move at all when it came to the Team Spirits. I mean, it went till around, let's say, 15 minutes or 60 minutes. They stuck with the 2 kills, but the team Foot Esports, they were just racing into the win victory, I would say. But that was incredible to see how the Foot Esports took the win. But we are just curious to see who's going to be the MVP. Kazu did well this time as well.
I mean, everybody did well. The staff I saw from Foot Eaters were just watching and cheering, and they were very emotional to see this event. And whenever there was a team fight whatsoever, they were screaming very loud here at Jack Arena. And moving forward, we were seeing the clean game, as you mentioned, the clean game from the game number 3.
Yes,
it was the most well executed from the Foot Eaters, and it was actually amazing. And here we can see at minute 6, and they were fighting at they were coming here at the minute 6 and minute 10. One second.
It was really good play on how it went, but I mean, at the end of the day, Foot Esports took the win completely. I mean, that was a huge lead for let's say, as for a third game. I mean, I was expecting more competition between 2 teams, and it go to be very tight competition. But as you can see, I mean, if we were at 18th minute even with a big lead, 10 kill by. So that's a huge lead that we have for Foot Esports when it came to the whole third game, I would say. I mean, huge win. That was a clear win way from the start. So we are still in the excitement of how the game actually went down. I mean, we can see the highlights right in front of us. I mean, that was a long game as well, right? It went past 18 minutes, more than 18 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, it's a great game, great job from Foot Esports, and actually from the Team Spirit. They pulled out the game number 2, and a little bit unfortunate for them. But I mean, now look at the emotion from our Foot Esports, and they are proceeding forward. And you know what, guys? We actually have a wonderful gift for you guys, but that's a little bit later. Let's check on the scoreboard. So you see how the teams are.
Yes, it's really hugely, like 17 kills and 4 kills for Team Spirit. That's like 13 kill lead. That's like a huge lead. I mean, we are talking about the third game, a decider in terms of which team is gonna stay and which team is gonna go out. And we have a 13 kill lead, that's huge, that's commendable. And when you talk about the kills, I mean, RX did 8 kills, and of course, Kazoo didn't fall back much with 5 kills, with 0 deaths, both of them, by the way. Kazoo 0 deaths and RX as well, 0 deaths. That's really good survival rate. When you come to Team Street also, they didn't actually disappoint. So that was incredible performance by both the teams. But we have a surprise, right?
Yeah, we have a gift, guys. We have a winner interview, and we have actually Psyche here from Food Eaters. He is here from Team Food Eaters, and yeah, Psyche, hello and welcome to the panels desk.
Thank you.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm pretty happy because like we won MST champions, and I'm so happy that we show how Turkey is strong.
Yeah, definitely. You guys definitely are. I mean, that was rough situation on the game too,
Yes.
but how you guys played the game 3 was phenomenal.
Of course, and Psyche, the final game, the third game, that was a huge lead. Like, were you really going in with the full confidence, or were you like taking minute by minute to see how it goes?
No, pretty. We were really confident. Like, the second match loss didn't affect us,
Right.
and I think we are really strong, and that's like the confidence.
Of course,
where
I
it
think
came
you
from.
really proved that in the first game, and then even though the second game you actually didn't get there, but you actually caught it back on the third game, which is really commendable. But how like you're excited for the upcoming rounds because now you're there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because like tomorrow our matches, I think SRG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
they're pretty strong team too, but I think we can win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys won the champions right now. Again, congratulations. You get to show them. Do you want to show your gift? I mean, your present on the camera for the Turkish
Yeah.
people?
I'm curious.
Like this pet is like when I sleep, I cuddle this like this. I
Okay.
cannot sleep without it.
And the name, does it have a name?
Yeah, its name is Pamuk in Turkish. It
Okay.
means cotton in English.
Okay,
Oh,
interesting.
So that's very cute.
That's really nice.
That's very cute. I mean, very happy for you guys. You guys made it through the tough opponent. You have any words to Team Spirit for the players and for the Turkish fans?
To Team Spirit, it was a good game and nice try. You were pretty strong too because, like, you are the champions. And for our fans, keep supporting us, please. We won't make you sad.
Definitely, no. That was Psyche from Foot Esports. Big congratulations. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, Psyche, for your time.
Big
and
ups to the.
good luck tomorrow for your games, and do guys well. And yeah, take care of your gift. I mean, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a wonderful day, and thank you very much. It was Psyche from Food Esports. Congratulations of winning, and good luck on next game for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was incredible to talk with a winning team. I mean, it's always good to get to see what the winning teams feels, what the winning teams their thought process is like, and we have on the screen that we have the comparison, like Foot versus TS. What do you think about the performances of both teams?
I mean, the performance were just. The performance was just great. It just didn't work out, unfortunately, for Team Spirit. Maybe it's a little bit lack of. Maybe they got tired from the previous tournament. As I got information, they came either yesterday night or yesterday in the morning. But they came yesterday, and maybe adaptation is not still there, and a little bit strategy, and also how Food Esports were extra motivated to play against the champions.
Of course. We are having incredible games happening right here at the Game of Future, and you do not want to miss watching any of the games. Make sure you get the tickets on ticketon.com. You have the QR code right up on the screen. Make sure you scan it and get the tickets because we only have a couple more days to go until we end the Games of the Future, and we got 3 more days, including today, to go till the end of MLBB. That's happening right here. We are having an amazing time. We have 1 match down, 3 rounds done, and we still got 3 more matches.